Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, the experiment continues. FOREX trading via gold USD, $800 day, pictures today, and welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here, and please share the videos because you never know who's out here looking for information. Now, I will be looking down because I wanted to actually send something out tonight that has to do with that 199k duplex, 3 bedroom, 2.5 baths, but that's not the thing. The thing is 750 square foot of terrace space on top of the second floor, making it 3 levels high. Inside Vista Cana, something that I talked about 4-5 years ago that they did not allow. And now it's a thing. Unbelievable. And from what I understand, it's in Paseo del Sendero, which even makes things even better. I got to say, that makes it even better, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to bring up the PDF. So I'm going to show you guys later today, tonight. We'll talk about it. But first, of course, we're going to have to talk about the $800 day from the FOREX, from the Auto Trader gold trading bot, the Gold Rush bot. That's right. It did it today, which by their PDF we discussed on Wednesday said trade on Friday, which means Thursday night for the London Stock Exchange. And I'll give you the results in a second. So it was, hey, it is what it is, right? It works out beautifully. So hold on real quick. I got to get this sent. That's what took me a little bit of time because I had to load in the screenshots or the pictures, and it took a second, and it kept acting weird how I'm going to load it here for you. But I want to load this up also so I'll be able to present this and show you guys what's going on, because it's very, very exciting when we start talking. Okay, that's cute. Looks like I may not be able to get it sent up because it's past the 20 megabytes. Of course. So we'll figure something else out. I'll get it sent one way or another. But just want to let you guys know, let's start with it. Let me see who's in the house tonight, making sure people can hear me, because whenever this happens, Lavelle Israel, peace and welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And very happy to see you once again. Thank you so much for being in the house. Another investor extraordinaire is here. EV Place, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Let's see what his tagline is. Good evening, everyone. I hope you've locked some profits from crypto like we talked about last week. Yes, exactly. Dropped to under 108 into the 107s. Very, very good heads up, EV Place, that we talked about last week, because this is the exact thing we discussed. And here we go. It now has lost 15% and dropping. It's very, very interesting. And some news, some great news has happened. The appeals court has said some of the Trump tariffs are illegal. In case you guys don't understand our Constitution, House of Representatives are supposed to be the ones doing any tariffs. Writing in your own box, Creating dictatorship is not America. That's why the House of Representatives were supposed to vote to input tariffs against other countries. The appeals court says, I'm sorry, Mr. President. That's not how it works. You don't get to just keep writing executive orders. That's against our Constitution. I expect the stock market to do something. I don't know what it's going to do. If I had my thoughts about it, I would think on Monday would be a good day. That would mean prices come down. Well, inflation, artificial inflation comes down. That would mean the Fed would then be like, hold up. We feeling a little more bullish about this 0.25 basis point cut. But we'll talk about that shortly. But thank you so much for being in the house once again, EV Place, and being on time with it when we were talking 125, 123, 126, whatever it was. And we said, don't be surprised if it does a 40 to 50% drop. So far, it's about 15% heading towards 20. Very good catch. Also, this gives some people a chance to buy in at a lower price or reduce your dollar cost average if you bought above 107.5 or 8, whatever it's down to. It's in 107 range now. Dollar cost average your way down. I love that. All right. Post-retirement travel, another person here that invest in all type of assets. Buy assets, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome Mr. Worldwide to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, all. Let's do this. That's what we do out here, ladies and gentlemen. We try to help you. Remember this, a rising tide lifts all boats. As long as all boats don't try to hurt the other boats, we're good. All right, businesses in the house. The Seamless Genius is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. The tagline from her is, hey, boss, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. The Seamless Genius is here. And once again, we're talking about a little FOREX. I guess I'm going to call it that. I'm not really a trader like that. But when somebody says, give me an Autobot, and you'll do it for me, and I potentially can make some money while I'm getting ready for bed, getting ready to go to sleep, or when I wake up, I think I can check it out. We discussed it on Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk about it some more tonight. All right. Hey, Lavelle Israel. Hey, I see you again. Thank you so much for being here again. What's up, Biz? What's up, Biz Nessa? Exactly. All right. Before I get into it, I'm just going to get straight to it. Here's what happened, just so you guys can see it on the screen. All right. This was the start last night at 10 p.m. Pacific time. Good thing I'm in the Pacific zone. And 1 a.m. if you were in, well, Eastern zone. But the thing is, you can already start the actual bot trading if you prefer, but I'm just saying, or wait till the London Stock Exchange opens. But either way, you can cut it on and then it'll start whenever the market opens. But the point is, that looks to be what you can see. Oh, hold on. Most people can't see that. Just a second. It was a taken by phone. All right. So I can't really do much with this picture, but it is what it is. So this was the start, $1,000 even last night. All right. This is what it's very simple. Now, since you guys know a little bit about it, if you want to join in the party and get the bot, it's very, very simple. I'm going to send you the goldrushregister.info. First of all, you go there, register, and someone will contact you. You put in the referral person. That would be me, Eric Bird, SSN Nation, whatever you want to call it. And you can see over here on the left-hand side, what does that say? Gold Rush Auto Trader Live. Of course, I did not show the account live because that shows an account number above the top. So I had to shorten the screen. But you can see on the side, close all trades. So When this gets up to a certain number you like, it can only go up to this equity right here is the number you pay attention to. So it goes up to 1,200 or 1,300 or 1,500. You might say, hey, I'll take around $500 profit. And again, during the experiment, when you close out, it takes time because there's hundreds of trades, or maybe even 1,000 if you left it on all night. And it takes a while to close all positions. So you may see 1,500 on your screen, but after all said and done, it's like give or take $50. So it could be 1,550, somewhere between 1,550 and 1,450 is what you're going to receive by the time they get to all those closings. All right, so just letting you know about that. That's very simple, easy to understand. That was the start of last night. That's why you see 30, whatever that is, 3,400 and something, 3,409 is where gold was last night, or at the start of the stock exchange. What, 6 a.m.? Yeah, 6 a.m. London time, LSE. London Stock Exchange is LSE, okay? Just like we have the New York Stock Exchange and all that, right? So same thing, London Stock Exchange, LSE. Now, let's get to the business at hand. So all night it was running around doing what it had to do while, well, quite frankly, there was nothing to look at after the first 3, 4, 5 minutes. But just so you guys understand, I'll give you full transparency. Here we go. Full transparency. For anybody that wants to get in on this, let me do something real quick. I'm going to do two things. One is I'm going to load in the chat room the PDF that you need to look at, because the PDF says trade on, well, Friday London Stock Exchange, which is Thursday night, or Monday's London Stock Exchange, which is Sunday night. But this Sunday is a holiday, right? Well, here it's a holiday. I don't know about in London, but either way, that says those are the best days to trade. Okay, fair enough. But before we get into that, I got to do another thing. First up, CoinX is what you need that ties in. So download CoinX. It doesn't cost you anything. And register and sign up. And of course, everybody who registers with CoinX does have an affiliate link. So I have one too. So of course, there you go. Do that, sign up with CoinX, because that's what's going to be able to load money in and out of the account. So any profit you see on the screen is going to be in your CoinX account. It's going to be tied to your live account number. And so therefore you can go in and say, I want to take out, like what happened today, 800 and I think it was 840 some dollars. I'll look at the screen, but took that out today. And then you'll have your same 1,000 balance back in your account. All right. So it's very, very simple. You don't have to do anything crazy. It's very easy, actually. You just have to have Microsoft Authenticator. And let me see. Yeah, you have to have Microsoft Authenticator. That's going to be mandatory. That's how, if you do any transactions in the background, you're going to need that Microsoft Authenticator number. So you'll need that too. So just so you know, but register there first. Get your thing registered if you plan on being in this. The second thing, I'm going to find the PDF. I'm going to put that in the chat room as well. So everybody's going to have it no matter where you're watching. This is going to be very, very simple for you. You should read that PDF. So far, if you want to hear something that's wild, last Friday, this has been an experiment. We did the 5th trading day was today. Last Friday, which is Thursday night, that was 1,030 where it closed out. And just so you guys know, it showed 1,050 when the close all button was hit. But by the time it closed, it went to 1,030. So it went down to 20. That's why I say there's a $50 in either way, either direction. Just keep that in mind. So that's what happened. All right. Just so you guys understand, that's where I got that from. Now, the other part to this is, once you have your profit, you need to open up a second account on CoinX so you can park your money in that account, your profit. The other thing about taking money out taking money out went like this: Bitcoin, Tether, uh, Tether, Bitcoin. There was four options. I just can't remember because I didn't really care. I mean, I wasn't going to do, I don't really care. There was like four options, but it was all Bitcoin. It was not anything to send to any account, which I don't know about you, but I like Bitcoin better. All right. So Bitcoin, Tether, probably ETH, and there's something else, maybe USDC or something. But nonetheless, I sent via Bitcoin. All right. Now, here's what happened. It was not instant. So it said a delay. Not really a delay. It didn't say delay, but I can't remember the term that it had back there in the office. But it said something like processing the transfer, something like that. All right. So I'll let you guys know on Monday if this is going to be like today, same day, or if it took till tomorrow, if it's 24 hours, but it's processing. All right. Just so you guys know, it's not instant. Maybe if you're due this a while, but this was the first withdrawal, just so you guys know. All right. Nothing crazy thus far. Everything's like systems go, which I'm very, very happy about. Now, I put in the CoinEx. Now I got to find the PDF. That was upload, right? There we go. Here's the PDF everybody should read before you buy this auto trading bot. Here is the PDF. All right. The bot, how much does it cost? $2,500. All right. Now, if you are interested in the bot, you can fill out this goldrushregister.info. And on there, again, you put Eric Bird, BYRD, or SSN Nation. Eric Bird, fine. But the point is, that's the referral on there. You guys, when you sign up, will have the same referral, for instance, right? And so there is some sort of commissions that they give out. All right. Now, let's get to the second part of the equation to show you guys the winning from last night. This is what the screen looks like after it closes out. All right. Just so you guys, that didn't show. Hold on a second. Let me get it on screen. Add to screen. Here's what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. After you close out, and you could actually do different candles and things like that along the top, as you can see up here. But, I don't need anything like that because I'm not closing lost profits, close, stop, doing any of that. It's just close all. All right. So then it starts putting lines up and you can see it was a good day, upward mobility, right? I don't know what it ended at, but remember we were down here and it ended at 30. Is that 34.40-ish? Something looks like. So just keep that in mind. And you can see, hold on, let me get to the screen. I'll put my cursor. All right. You can see $1,874.11. Okay. That's the situation. That's what happened, leaving it all night. Remember, some people would say 400 was good, then they would start closing out. Or 700 is good, they would start closing out. Or some people would say it went down to, get this, it went down to $600 right here. Okay, where it says equity, that's what the day is showing. It went down to $600. So once again, you should always do, this is an investment, whatever you can afford to lose to start off with. Do not have to get crazy. Just 1,000 is recommended. So you got to buy the bot for 2,500. Then you got to load up your CoinEx account with $1,000. Okay, that's the recommended number. So it went down to 600. All right. Then it popped up. Well, don't know what happened. Went to bed. All right. It went down to 600 rather rapidly. A lot of trades, but it was within the first 10 to 15 minutes. I always check 15 minutes later, just in case it did that $300 or $500 pop like it did before. So I said, okay, because my goal is $300. But this time they said Friday night, last Friday night, 1,030. So of course, feel good. The PDF says Friday night or Thursday night trade for Friday trading. So today I let it run all night, woke up at, because the market has to close, you got to close out. So had to wake up by, close out by 8:30. But that's not what happened. It was around 8 a.m. and it was like saying 1920, 1925. So in reality, it's like, what do you, it was like, I'm not going to wait till the end. Who cares about if it gets another 100, 200, or 500? It only, I was like, it met the goal of $300 per trading day by a wide margin. So I hit the close all button, and uh, it took probably, it took a minute, probably 5 minutes to close all positions, 5 to 10 minutes, probably. I didn't time it. But as you can see, right here, the equity says 1874.11, balance 1874.11. That's when it closed out. So now you go to coin next, it'll say in your account, it'll say $874. All right, because you started with 1,000, right? So since it's 1874.11, it's $874.11 is your profit. I mean, you can take out all of it if you wanted to, but then you wouldn't have anything to trade the next day. So now you can see that is what happened overnight from, I'll do Eastern time. No, I'll do Pacific. From 10 p.m. at night till 8 a.m. Pacific, because could have went to 8:30, but 8 a.m. So that's the time frame. Didn't mess with anything, didn't do anything. So I'll recap. The numbers are day one, 304, some change probably. Day two, 1,030. Trade day three, 291. Trade day four, 300, even. Trade day five, 1874.11. I mean, 841. 874.11. That's trade day five. All right. Not 1800. It was 874 and 11. All right. So let me know what you guys think. I think that's pretty good. So still have the 1G, all of that in 5 trading sessions. And we didn't do 5 days in a row. Didn't do, I can't remember what day it was. 2 days this week did not do. We did last Monday or Sunday night for Monday. And we did, I think, did we do one other this week? So yeah, I guess it was 2 this week, or yeah, I can't remember exactly. But anyhow, the experiment seems to be working. That's all I can say. All right. If you guys have any questions, let's see. All right, there you go. I'm getting in tomorrow. Lavelle Israel, thank you so much for letting me know, man. So I dropped everything everybody needs in case you guys want further information. Don't forget goldrushregister.info. Somebody, if you had questions or whatever, people can help you out there too. All right. Very, very simple. All right. EV Play says first dividend from 10K TY investment received, and of course MSTY and SMCY salsa dancing. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot about the salsa dance. Oh, let me get this off screen. Hold on. I forgot about the salsa dance, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It is dividend time. There should be some ding, ding, ding going on tonight. Now, that 10K ULTY investment, what does that get you? I don't remember. That would be, if it's at $6 a share, what is that? 1,500? Is that what it is? Something like that. Times 9 cents, or 0.094, 9.5 cents, we'll call it. So That's a week, ladies and gentlemen. ULTY pays weekly. So if you can get 9.5, 10 cents, I'll just round around 150 per week, $600 a month on a 10K investment. $600 times 12 is $7,200. That sounds like 70% on your money if that happens. That's right. It fluctuates. It goes from option income trading. All right, here we are. Eric, are you using your mouse? Yes. Can't see it moving. Is that a 1 day chart? Yes. That was from 10 p.m. at night. Well, thanks for letting me know. So now I know on that screen it doesn't show up when I'm over an image. But thank you. Can't see it moving. Is that 1 day? Okay, yes. That's from 10 p.m. Pacific time. And closing started, the close all button started at 8 a.m. Pacific time. All right. And then again, it takes 5 to 10 minutes. And it ran all night. And woke up, looked at it. It said 19. It was like 1907, 1920, 1910. And I was like, well, $900 is good. $850 is good. So closed out. It could have been higher during the night. I don't know. I could have went back and tracked the history, but like I said, if $300 a trading session, that's all I care about. But I'm trying to do 5 days a week. So we did 5 sessions, but I don't know what would have happened on another, like yesterday or Wednesday. I don't know. Maybe it would have been a bad day. Sooner or later, there's going to be a negative, right? You can't win every time, right? It doesn't even matter if it's the bot. You can't win all the time. So again, you have to think about sometimes checking in, because that one night that I checked in and I said, you know what, I'm on 300, because I was planning on doing it every night until I never even read the PDF. I was just going to do it every day. So then I was like, you know what, why don't I just wait? Because last Friday was $1,000 day, 1,030 last Friday. And this time it's $874. So I was like, okay, why even bother with the 300 a day? Let's see what happens. Because then if another Friday is a good Friday, which now 2 Fridays is 1,800, no, 1,900 for 2 Fridays. That's pretty good for a week, if I say so myself. That's almost 8 G's a month if you can get close to that. 7 G's a month, 7,700 a month. I mean, come on. So if it keeps up, but there's no guarantee that it can. So you should check things out, check in. Some people check all night. Some of the people are going, well, I woke up at 1 o'clock. I woke up at 2. I checked it at 4. I'm like, what are you checking for? They're just like, well, just in case it goes up and I want to get out, or goes down too low and get out. Because some people, it does go down. Like I told you, I checked last night. It went down to 600. And because, of course, the profits, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to close this out negative 400. I said, well, just see what's going to happen. Let's run with it, because last Friday was good. Maybe this Friday will be good too. And sure enough, come back, wake up, $874 profit. So again, nothing's 100%. Just keep that in mind. But thank you so much, Post-Retirement Travel. Once again, that's the registration. Get your CoinX now. Okay. Number 2, EV at 10K. That's insane. Congrats. Saw some moves for sure. Exactly. Plus he has the SMC and the awesome dividends from MSTY and SMCY. Come on now. That's beautiful stuff right there. Beautiful stuff. Post-retirement travel. Thank you. I'm trying to learn from the best. Oh my God. He has us blushing over here. He plays post-retirement travel. I hope you're blushing too. EV Place has taken the mantle. He said, you know what? I believe. He's like sitting here going, hey guys, I got my 25 to 35% that I want to earn annually. And he's making the investments to happen, ladies and gentlemen. And he's doing everything the right way. I love it too. Also, remember, when we talked about the crypto declining, EV Place is the first one that brought it up, just like last week, about the last 7 to 10 days. I also have to talk this. talk about this is I was talking about at that time, lock in your appreciation on your stock prices. Why are you going to let your stock prices go down? And I said I had mine at like 10 to 15% less. It triggered all kind of sales, quite frankly, because I had a stop at a price. So now I get to keep all my profits, my appreciation that I had on the stocks. I didn't lose that. That's the worst thing that can happen with a dividend stock with high rates of return is your stock is like, let's call it $20. You make 60% dividend return. Your stock goes up to 22, 24, and then you decide, okay, I've collected the last 4 months and I've gotten 10% per month. So I locked in 40% returns on my dividend. My appreciation of my stock went up $4 per share. What's the worst thing that can happen? The stock going to 17, and now you're losing your appreciation, and the $17, you're losing $3 per share. And if you have a few hundred or thousands, all of a sudden that's no chump change, right? So now you basically are erasing your dividends the way I look at it. So I don't mind taking, hey, just sell it at $22.50. $22 is 10%. Sell it at that number. I already have my 40%. So that's the way I look at it, just so you guys understand. That's what I do. Because these high volatile stocks, just what's happening right now with Yield Max ETF, they start going down. So what if I get 85% dividends over the course of the year if my stock price just went down 10, 20%, right? So I have to make up that 20% somewhere. All I'm saying, why? I don't have to. I can just keep my profit as it is and just sit on the sidelines. That's the way I look at it. And do some other thought processes, because I start going, well, I'll do this. The price used to be 22. It's now down to 17. I sold at 22. I buy back in at 17. And I just keep the profit from the difference and either buy something else that's on sale right now. There's ways you can do it, several different options. Post-retirement travel, learning from the best, says EV Place. Thank you for being in the house and your contributions, man. You're one of the best as well. CoinEx also does USDC. Yeah, it must be. I didn't even pay attention. I just saw Tether and I saw another ERC, and I was like, okay, Bitcoin's right here. I'm just going to skip. Just go to Bitcoin. There was 4 choices. I think it was USCD. You know what? I don't have the computer next to me. I could do something, but I can't log in right now. Walk out the bank with the cash like I'm Vivica. Exactly, man. Exactly. So one of the things on CoinEx, they're using crypto. I'm not mad at that. All right. That's where you go get the info. Put in Eric Bird, BYRD, as the referral on that. There we go. Everybody should have it. All the podcast people, you have it too. Gold Rush register.info. The PDF, only if you're on certain platforms that has the link down below, you can have it. Everybody else, sorry. Yeah, if you're listening and you can't get to it, sorry, but that's life. All right. Now, let's get on with something else, because while we're doing this, just keep in mind you're going to need to reduce your debt dramatically. It's already started, by the way. Okay, coming in the mail right now. The credit card guys are gone stone cold crazy. They're sending the people with good credit, it's in the mail every freaking day. Hey, we'll give you 18 months, 0% interest if you get our card. It's out of control, ladies and gentlemen. You know this was going to happen. I told you this was going to happen, but it's going to get much, much better. We have 1 year and 4 months. You need to get your debt down. And so I want to say one other thing. Down below in the description box, there's going to be something else. and that is debt resolution. Resolve Finance can help you not have to file bankruptcy. They help get your interest and everything reduced. You make monthly payments for a year to 2 years on average. It says that when you pay it off, you're in good standing, not default, no debt collections, no bad credit or nothing on your credit file. Now your credit score pops up, and now you can go enter the credit game, the debt game. The debt game is going to get crazy for people that's going to have, in my estimation, 775 and up credit scores. That's what you need to work toward. All right. That's the number one goal you need to. And if Tracy at Resolve Finance can help you, I'll put a link in the chat room, and there's going to be a link down below in the description box. All right. Let her know, Eric Familia told you to come. All right. Just tell her Familia told me to get in touch with you. Just say Eric. All right. Okay. So it's that simple. She'll know. And she takes very good care of everybody. She loves doing it. She loves helping people. That's why she's Familia. And literally, she's Familia. All right. I'm just saying. So she takes good care of people, and she's very, very happy to help people get out of debt and have good credit. But it's going to take about 1.5 to 2 years in most cases, like I said. So get started now. On the other side, again, what's going to end up happening? There's going to be some incredible offers for people with great credit. Just always keep that in mind. You're going to get borrowing terms that other people will only wish for. That's why you need a high credit score, because there's going to be credit crunch, and they're going to loosen credit in order for more people to get credit. You don't want to be in the more people to get credit role. More people to get credit means they're going to do something like, oh, all you need is a 580 credit score now, and we're going to do this. And yeah, they're going to charge people 25 to 35% interest. That's what's going to happen. They're going to charge you more interest. The people that have a 775 and up, you're going to be like in La La Land. They're going to be sending you stuff like, hey, you want this 2% or 1%? You'll have options, all right, on everything you buy, which gives you an advantage. Because if you can use other people's money to buy assets, especially assets that pay you, those are the assets we talk about here. We're not talking about an asset like people do things like your home as an asset. No, you shouldn't be looking at your home as an asset. You should be looking at an asset that's going to pay for your home, because you don't need to work for the asset. The asset pays for your home is what you need to do. Then the home becomes an asset, because now you're using some other money to pay for it, and it starts appreciating. And now all of a sudden, now you can unlock things like HELOCs and all that, right? But again, if you have a 775 and up score, HELOCs are going to be a whole different ball game for you versus somebody with the 660. All right. Just keep that in mind. They're going to come up with very creative financing. All right. And just remember about points. Don't give up any points. In fact, like I said, if you get loans and you have a great credit, then you should be telling them, nah. You take them points away. I'm not paying points for entry and exit. That's crazy. I'm going to sell something and I'm going to give you some money for it. That's insane. But they always put it in the contract if you're not paying attention. All right. And again, if you start messing around with debts of $1 million, 1% isn't just chump change either, right? So just think about that. Some people would say, oh, no big deal. I'm like, it is. Any money that you deserve, you should keep in your pocket. There's no way. You don't know what your asset's going to be worth. You don't know how much it's going to be. It could end up being $1.5 million. And somebody goes, well, we get 1.5% or 2% because we gave you the first loan. We gave you the loan. Now on the exit, we're going to get 1.5%, 2% back. What are you talking about right now? You have nothing to do with this. You gave me the loan. You took your point. Then now you're trying to take point on my profit? No, not working. Not working. All right. That's the other thing, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll put in Tracy at Resolve Finance too. Hopefully, I have my. I haven't looked at the screen, but yes, microphone check check is on. All right, there we go. Here you go. Resolve Finance, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. At what time did you do the transfer and for how much? Was there like an Ethereum transaction fee? That's what I don't know on this end. There was no fee. I did it I was going to go see my aunt. So it was I almost forgot. I wanted to do it earlier. So it was around uh I think it was 10:30, 11 o'clock, something like that. Yeah, it was around there, 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. So okay, just so you know, I sent it to because I wanted to test. I sent it to Cash App. Oh, by the way, we do Cash App. It's the dollar sign. Stop struggling now. In case you guys ever want to do that, we're not monetized, by the way, around here. That's right. We do harmful rhetoric. You know what that harmful rhetoric is? Calling people out for their BS and telling people like it is and helping people. That's harmful rhetoric according to YouTube. And they're like, it's crazy to me. Okay, now there is other harmful rhetoric. I did threaten a few people that owes me money. Yeah, I said, hey, they don't want to see me, but I mean, is that really harmful rhetoric? When somebody owes you, you know, 5-figure numbers and ain't no 1,000s, it's like, you kind of get bent. But anyhow, it was like around 10:30, something like that. The cleaning lady came at some time. So it was around 10 or 10:30 because I had to run back in and I was like, oh, I forgot. And then did it. So, and as of right now, I don't know if it transferred. So, and it went to Cash App Bitcoin, just so you guys know. All right. So I'll change it up from there, but it's all right. Okay. So you can transfer straight to CoinEx then Cash App. Yep. You transfer your profits out of CoinEx, can go to Cash App via Bitcoin. You have to register for Bitcoin. And the weird thing is, even though I was already registered to receive Bitcoin, they made me do the facial recognition thing again and I use my passport and use my passport for ID. You can use your driver's license, passport, and some other stuff. And I was like, are you kidding me? I already did this before. So now, whatever their new thing is, I had to redo it. But nonetheless, I'll know on, Monday by the time we come if it came up. Or I checked, let's see, it's 7 something now. I checked around 3:30 when I got back, and it still didn't hit. I didn't check after 3:30ish today. So it could be there, but I don't know yet. So, but we'll see. That is the last final frontier. Other people have already cleared. I mean, all the rest of the guys that taken things out, it's cleared. It's been no issues. But I don't really care about that. I want it to not be an issue for me, right? So there's no issues. Report it, and I'll let you know. And I'm thinking it said wait or whatever, processing initially. So then I was like, oh, so that means it's probably a manual transfer of some sort. So that's the only thing I can think of. It's not going to be automated. So unless you have to do X amount of withdrawals, maybe then it becomes instant. I don't know, but we're about to find out. So I did a small withdrawal first, just so you guys understand, because I was like, what happens if there's an issue? So I only did $50 just to test. And then the next time it's going to be like 1,000. So then I'll go from there. So yes. And I went to Cash App, but I mean, the only reason I did that was because it was so simple. Once it's in Cash App, then I can just download it to any account that I have on file. Relatively simple. I didn't want to send it over to MetaMask or any other cold wallet or anything like that. I wanted to put it somewhere where I can download it. So then the next time I'm going to do like a 500, 1,000 and make sure that hits to the Cash App, then I'll feel more comfortable. I say, okay, then I may get creative. More than likely will. All right. Then I'm going to get creative. All right. DIM Pals is here in the house. I see. We'll get to that in a second. Yes. Because only the reason you can download the Cash App is because it has Bitcoin. You have to, do your facial feature. Go to, it's weird how they have it. You hit the Bitcoin thing, the little square box icon. Then you go to the bottom of the next page and it says something about get or something about Bitcoin. That's actually click on that arrow. And that's actually so you get a Bitcoin alphanumeric character so you can send money to it. All right. And so it's that simple. That's the only reason I did it, because there's going to be fees somewhere. See, that's the thing. There's going to be fees somewhere. Coming out of CoinEx, there's not supposed to be any fees. So when it hits Cash App, there should be $50. The problem is transferring it into US dollars. I'm pretty sure they're going to charge a fee. I think that's what they did last time. It was minor though, but I think that's where I'm going to find out on $50, whatever it's going to be. Maybe it's $2, maybe it's $4. I don't know what Bitcoin's going to charge. And then you got to download it, but downloads no cost from Cash App unless you want to do the 1% instant. But 1% is small on $50. That's not even whatever. It's not even $5. So, I thought it was 1,000 for the 1-year license. Lavelle, Israel, it is. You can get a 1-year license for 1,000. You are correct. But remember, yeah, the lifetime is 2,500. You are absolutely correct. So you can do either, as you can see on the Gold Rush Register.info. The reason I suggested the 2,500 was because it's lifetime. If it could go down, of course, the license could go down. But what if the license goes up? So that's the kicker. The license will probably go up. So now, even though you did 1 year, your renewal may be 2 G's. So now you're going to, and the license, the 2,500 is lifetime. So you don't have to ever worry about anything. So you have it all the time for life. Whereas, like I said, you're going to be in the just like, I'll use a perfect example. You know that, for instance, Amazon, when they first came out, I think it was $99 a year for their Amazon Prime. You could have paid like 5 years in advance. But now it's like $129.99 if you only went yearly. So that's the only thing that you're going to have a problem with. If you want to continue this, and now all of a sudden it comes up for renewal, and now it says whatever the number could be. We don't know. It could be 2,000. And now for something you could have paid 2,500 for. But either way, do what you have to do. At least you'll be in making money. But either way, do what you have to do. Everybody has different monetary situations. All right. Now remember though, when you buy the bot, you also should put in at least $1,000 in your CoinEx account. So add that into the mix as well. Okay. It's not the same. It's not like you buy the bot for $1,000 or 2,500 and that gets transferred to your account. No, you're buying software. All right. That's what you're doing. The CoinEx account has to be funded in order to do your trading. All right. And they say, again, the PDF says 1,000. So it's very simple. Did I get the PDF? Yeah, I did put the PDF in. So let's do it this way, because I do have it a different way, because down below in the description box, I have all 3 of the links. So anybody that watches this on replay, it's there. In case you're new here, here's what happened the first 5 days of trading. First day, 309 profit. It closed out. It was around, like I said, it was around 350, something like that. Ended up being 309. That's why I say give or take $50 in either direction. Second day, 1,030. All right. And on that day, it said like 1,005, 1,000, and then it ended up being 30. So it was an extra like 25, 30 bucks. Then when you hit the close all button, all right. Third day, 291. And once again, it was like a 300, 305, and it ended up being 291. Okay. Fourth day, 300. All right. Very simple. And then it fluctuated up and down until it gets to 300. The fifth day, which was today, $874.11. Closeout was at 19, it was around 1905, 1910, somewhere in there. And then it ends up being 874. So that's why I say when you close out, it's a give or take $50 in either direction, is what I say. All right. So that's it exactly. Just so you guys understand. All right. So let me see. Oh, no. Well, I thought that's uploads. That's a link. That's not what I wanted to see. All right. So what I was going to do was this, which is weird. I thought I copied this. Oh, I see what happened. I copied something else. Okay. All right. Here we go. Down below in the description box. I'm about to put this in the chat room once again for everybody. Do this in order, please. All right, let's go here. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, see, hopefully that goes to every platform. All right. DIM Pals, another investor is here, and I know you're doing the salsa dance. Not only are you getting dividends, you're also loving the up and down movement of Yield Max ETF stocks. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he says, good evening, family, as his tagline starts. He smashed that like button. He gave it a one piece. I love it. Bought me some more ULTY. You could not do any better than that. That's like 52-week low for me. Same. It's a beautiful thing, man. A beautiful thing to get it this low. Good grief almighty. It's lovely. All right. Post-retirement travel says, okay, Eric, so don't you withdraw 874 back and let the original 1K to continue to play? Yes, that's what exactly happened. Took 874.11 off from the balance you saw of 1874. In CoinEx, it's going to tell you 1874.11. So then I transferred 874.11 into the second account that you can create for free. So that's holding the 874.11 plus the other profits. All right. So that way it's not in the live account, because if you left your balance on your in the first account, then it would be 1874.11 on the next trading day. So I want to take that out and start with 1,000. Keep the profit, basically. Money management, right? So that's what it is. 1K to continue to play. Yes, that's exactly right. Just need to make 200 more and you'll be playing with house money. Exactly. 5 days. And again, they weren't every day, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're new here. It started off, if I'm not mistaken, it went like, I was talking with the wife about this. It was Thursday night, which was Friday morning. No, it couldn't have been. It was, no. It definitely wasn't. Because Friday last week was the 1,030. There was a trick. Oh, Tuesday. That's right. Monday night. That's right. Because I told you guys testing. Monday night, Tuesday morning. That's right. Tuesday morning. So it went Monday night, Tuesday morning. We were leaving to go to the airport. And that's when things happened. Close out. And that was the first day, 309. Then Thursday night happened. That's when 1,030. Sunday night, Monday trading day happened, 291. Now, not paying attention to the PDF. Next day, Tuesday, $300 profit. Then, hey, what are you doing? Do it on Friday, Thursday night. Okay. Thursday night is today, Friday, 874.11 profit. Those are all the profits, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So that's it. Now, again, with any investment you do, it does drop below. Like I paid attention a little bit last night. It dropped down to 600. 1,000 went to 600. I said, okay, it's Friday. Let's see if these guys that said the PDF last Friday was good, this Friday's good. I didn't stop and panic and say whatever. So just went to bed. Woke up today. It was rolling around 19, like I said, 1905, 1910. I was like, there ain't no reason to sit around here and be greedy. Close all. There you go. Close all. And it ends up being 1874.11. And of course, 1,000 needs to stay in the account as post-retirement travel is saying. So the 874 got transferred to the other account. It's the holding account. And the live account now shows 1,000, just like the original 1,000 from last night. 1,000 was there, took the profit from the previous time. Same thing. So next trading day on Sunday night, or sorry, not Sunday. I don't know. I'm still going to do Tuesday probably. But the point is, it's going to be 1,000 on the next trading day. All right. So just so you guys get it straight. And that's exactly what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to get to the 2,500 mark because that's the lifetime bot cost, right? So that's a mission accomplished. 1,000 that we're using for trading, we're getting close. So basically, it's going to be from that time on, you're risking house money after that. Any profit, like if there's another profit of anything like 300, 400, 500, or anything crazy, then we're free riding it from that point on. And there's going to be a day that there's going to be an L. There's no way it can be completely 100%. I'm pretty sure one of these days I'm going to be saying there's an L come that happened, right? So don't worry about that. But that's what's going to happen. So just keep that in mind. Boss, are you withdrawing all of your 5-day profits? No. Biznessa, I have not. No, the reason why I did not is because I didn't want to send my crypto to any other wallets because bouncing around from going to a wallet and having fees taken out, and then I'm pushing it out to some other place. That's another fee route. I said, no, I'll just download the first 50. I just did 50. Just so you know, 50 today at around 10:30 in the morning, somewhere like that. Maybe 9:30. I just don't remember. And then I wanted to see it hit my Cash App. It hasn't hit Cash App yet. All right. So I want to find out how long it's going to take because otherwise, Tether or ERC20, whatever the other one was, maybe it was USDC or whatever. Maybe I'll use that because we know that's a shorter time frame. It should be anyhow. But I have a feeling that CoinEx is probably doing a manual transfer. I don't think they have an on-demand like a wallet. It's not a wallet. So I think somebody at their offices are having to do it manual. They don't charge, by the way, going out. They say they don't charge. So there should be 50 hitting the account. Now it all depends on if Cash App charges for incoming, which could be a thing. But I'm going to work my way up. I'm doing 50. Once it hits, then I'll be like, okay, this is a good account. It works. Then the next time it's going to be 500 just to see how long that takes. Because it's an experiment. I'm trying to see how long, if there's a variation by amount, by different variations. Because I want to be set in stone. Because if there's a day that it's a 1,500, $2,000, I want to make sure that it's consistent. If I download it now, when will I receive it? So that way, if I have a higher payout, I'll know. I'll say, hey, what's going on? If it's a day or two later, I'll be like, but I'm not saying that could happen. I'm just like to know what the normal part is. CoinEx also has a test part. You can use play money to test your strategy. That is very true. You can do a demo. Very true. You can do a demo. I've always done that with previous platforms and investments. Trust me, it's a different feeling when using real money. Exactly. Play money is like you get to experiment, but it's not the same. It feels different. And here's the thing, one thing about poker that you will learn, a lot of people will come to grips with. But when you play poker, you come to grips with it very rapidly. When you have situations where you're sitting there playing and you put in, you know, 2 grand, 5 grand, somebody says all in, which puts you all in, let's say, and now you're going, that's like 15 grand, right? So now all of a sudden, your emotions, what do? A lot of, you have to hide your emotions. Some people are like, well, wait a minute, that's like 15 grand in money. That's a nice used car, right? It's like your mind's, so you have to get that out of your head and go, oh no, this is the correct call because this card came, that card came. It makes no sense why he has all in because my hand says I should win this thing and the way we bet and the way things go. So you have to think what's the best for you. And that's very hard when it hits real money because there are people that said, I'll give you a perfect example. During the testing, people said, oh, it dropped down to 800. So I stopped everything because I didn't want to lose. I was like, yeah, but it goes down, it goes up. And what are you doing this for? Right. But like play money, you actually act different with play money than you would. So you can only do like strategies, is what I would say. Test your strategy is more like post retirement travel said, because when you use real money, you realize I can lose this. So that's why, again, the recommendation of 1,000 to start is money you can lose, right? It makes sense. You don't want to tell somebody do 10,000 or 20,000 and they trade for, one day and it's 5 grand and the next thing you know they're down to 3,500 and they see it and they're like, oh no, I lost like 1,500, let me close out, I don't want to lose anymore. And another person just let it ride and they're like, oh yeah, I had a $8,000, I got $3,000 profit. And they're like, how? They're like, well, I closed out at 8 a.m. in the morning. They're like, but it went down, I closed out. That's the difference, right? So I agree with that sentiment about the demo. And by the way, they do have demo also when you have the bot. They do have demo mode. All right. Just received my Robinhood Gold card, 3% cash back on any purchase. Oh, man, hold on. Is it the metal one? That's what I want to know, EV Places. Is it the metal one? Come on now. I want to hear it. The metal one. Is it the metal one? EV Place, good job. My wife and I both have one, and every month we convert the purchase points into dollars and deposit those back into Robinhood for investments. We also use the travel platform. Right on, man. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. There it is. You can see it. Tracy at resolvefinance.com. Let her know Familia called. 1 year, 4 months we have left. And in 2 days, we're going to be in 1 year, 3 months that you're going to need to get your credit scores in order and have passive income coming in. You got a reprieve today. The appeals court stood up and said, I'm sorry, Mr. President, you cannot just do executive orders for tariffs. That is supposed to be the responsibility and purview of the House of Representatives under our Constitution. I was wondering if anybody was going to start standing up for the Constitution. Well, we finally have a court that is. I know what's going to happen next. It's going to go up to Supreme Court. Those guys don't believe in our Constitution anymore, so we're going to find out what's going to happen. But by rights, House of Representatives are supposed to discuss, supposed to do all this. We have bilateral agreements. We have NATO agreements. We have agreements with other countries in place that does not allow for us to do tariffs and just go, oh, it's 20% tariffs. No, we already have agreements. This is why the rest of the world is like, is the United States going to do something about this? You're messing up our situation. Are you guys going to just let it happen? You have all kind of agreements you're tearing up right now. And you're expecting other countries to be happy about it. I don't think so. So anyhow, Tracy at Resolve Finance can help you with your credit, get it reduced, not have to get to debt collections, don't have to file bankruptcy, and in a year and a half to 2 years, 2.5 years max, about, you can be in good standing, and it'll say good standing on your credit report. So you're going to go through that time, no credit cards, I'm sorry, but at least you get your credit down, wiped out, your credit score gets up there. You need 775 and up. Again, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be right about this. So 800's even better, just so you guys understand. All right. That's one way to do it. I have other links down below that can help you improve your credit as well. Post-retirement travel from EV Place. Exactly. Only higher cash back is 4% on Gemini, on gas and Uber, and your favorite crypto. There you go. James Way's in the house. Welcome. Another investor is here to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he brings his tagline, hello all, glad to be here, glad that you are here. The rent is too damn high and due soon. I smell FOREX profits. You are right. There's profits to be made. And oh, by the way, speaking of those profits, you know, hold on. I'm missing something. Oh, that's what it was. 2804 and 11. Thereabouts. Forget the cents. We'll just call it 2804. Okay. Still with the 1,000 in the trading account. 2804, 5 trading sessions. Now, the 2 Fridays have been off the charts. One was 874.11 today. Last Friday was 1,030. That's probably 60 or 70% of the total profit pool. But I mean, if that anomaly happens, who's not going to be happy about that? I'm going to divide it by the 5 trading sessions. Haven't done that yet. That's 568.22, $560.82. I don't think people are going to bitch about that from trading sessions on average if you can get it. Now, the other thing about the auto trading bot, people, it doesn't match up. So I don't know what the difference is. Like, some people say, well, mine went 700, mine went 300, mine went 150. I don't know what the differences are. It could have been they started a little later, started a little earlier, let it run all longer. There's variables. So there's no way to know, because again, that's how it works. All right. Tamara Larry's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And oh my, ladies and gentlemen, she's another investor here. Hope all is going well for you and Familia. Very, very happy to see you. Seems on Fridays the amounts are higher. Very nice. Yeah, so far only 2 Fridays though. And the PDF that you down below in the chat box, the PDF says trade on Fridays, which is Thursday night, and Mondays, which is Sunday nights. Now, this Monday is Labor Day, but is it Labor Day as the market closed in London? I don't know. But I do know this. Both markets, the United States and the London market, coincide, because you can trade during the day, apparently, on the USA market as well, I guess. But the point is, I don't know about trading this Sunday night. So next week, we'll see. All right. Here it is right here. This is how you do it. Sign up with CoinX. I do have a referral link. Yes. Sign up with the PDF is there, so you guys can go read it. That's their recommendations. Twice a week is their recommendations. I didn't go with twice a week, quite frankly, until now. We went twice a week almost this time, because we skipped like Wednesday night and Thursday night. So then we did Friday, and Friday was 874.11 this week. Last week 1,030. So it seems like just from the 2 Fridays, there's a merit for doing it on Fridays. And if you were able to do 1,500 every just 2 trading days a week times 4 weeks, that's not bad. That's 6 G's or thereabouts. Okay. So that's great. So, anyhow, on the screen and in the chat and down below in the description box, those are the links you guys need right now. And when you go to goldrushregister.info, put in Eric Berg. All right. That would help. $2,500 lifetime bot. The prices probably will go up. 5,000. Okay, there's rumors. I'll give the rumors. It hasn't happened yet. They always, $5,000 is the rumor that the 2,500 bot will go up to. Just saying. The 1,000 that the Israel talked about, that could go up to 2 or 3. I don't know what the numbers are. Who cares? The point of the matter is you are here now when that's the number. Whether it goes up or down, I don't know. But all I'm saying is most likely it goes up. Anything that's successful and makes money goes up. So when you start telling people you can invest, you guys know how investments work. If somebody tells you it makes $100,000 profit, and then they say something like, well, I want to sell my business, or I want to sell my real estate, or my short-term rental property for $1 million, you probably can. It's a 10x on real estate generally for me. All right. So, yeah. So if somebody says, okay, I made this year from this bot 30,000, how much is the bot really worth? Profit, right? How much is it really worth? It's not worth 2,500 for sure. It's not worth 5,000. It's not worth 10,000. It has to be at least 30,000, right? But I'm just saying, just keep that in mind when you decide what you're going to do. All right, let's go. Eric, agree, Eric. You can't be emotional investing in Forex. I go through the same thing doing option trading, but never ever get emotional. Once you do that, you'll start making mistakes. Exactly. That's exactly right, because it's the same thing with this, just like what we're talking about. There are people doing the science experiment too, where they said, oh, it dropped down to 500, 600. So I told it to close out because I didn't want to lose any more money. And I was like, you know, I, I understand why you did it, but now I say, well, mine went down to 600 and all I did was like, let it go. And then wake up today and it's 874. The other time it dropped to, I'm trying to think, on the 300 or 291 day, it dropped to like 300 or something like that. And then bounced back up to 13, that 291 or 309 day. I can't remember which day. But yeah, it goes down. So if you panic and go, oh my God, let me take it out. But again, it could have stayed down, right? Which is the other factor, fear factor. So that's why some people are like, oh no, I didn't want to lose $400 or $500. So I just closed out right now. And I'm just like, for me, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, after I have profit, now I have profit to play with. So again, mistakes happen when you start worrying about the money instead of trying to understand what you're doing and what your money management says for you to do. So once you have a money management scenario, then maybe you start doing things a little differently. But for me, I can go to zero. Okay, so I put 1,000 in, I can go to zero. But I didn't go to zero from the beginning, but I was prepared to go to zero. So that's the difference. I'm going to go to zero because I want to find out if this works. So even if I'd have came back and it would have been 300-400, then I'd have said, okay, well, 300-400 in the account for the next day. That's it. And if it went to zero, that's zero. Then I say, okay, reload 1,000. Let's see what happens. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So far, it worked out in our favor. So far. Great. So by the way, you guys know I like exponentials. What is exponentials? If we're going to if we do 3,500, right? Let's just say next week everything keeps going the same, and the trading day gets another $1,000 to $1,800, right? Now all of a sudden I say, let's take some of that profit, buy another bot, because now if you can get anywhere near half of what the other one's doing, then therefore now you're making money while you sleep with two different things. And if you can make half of the profit, so if you do 6,000 a month and another one does 3,000, that's 9 grand a month. And now all of a sudden you might do another exponential, another one. And that one does. So next thing you know, you're doing 12 to 15 G's a month. Now all of a sudden it's a whole different ballgame. So that's what we're looking at. Now, of course, people could always buy more than one bot, right? Get more than one license. But again, it's an experiment for me because I've never done any option trading like this. All right. Yes, metal one. Oh, good. I'm on the wait list. Can't wait to get mine. That must be sweet. Brian P. Mr. Dividend is here. He shows up because he's been doing the salsa dance after 9 p.m., getting those dividend ching, ching, chings coming in. Welcome again to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Happy day, Eric. Thank you. I hope all is well with you. Yes, it is. Happy day, SSN family. Smash that like button. That's what we have to do here. Smash that like button. I love it. Give it a one piece. It's free. Show some love. Let the YouTube gods know, the Twitch gods, the Facebook gods, the Instagram gods, Rumble gods, all of them. Let them know. You're in the house. We're making money in here. That's right, Brian P. Rising tides lifts all boats. Yield Max payday tonight. I know you were doing the salsa dance, man. I know exactly what you were doing. Lavelle Israel, you can get what's called the Bitcoin Black debit card where you can transfer your crypto to which converts into cash on the debit card to spend as you please, unlimited. Okay, so what's the name of that company? That's pretty cool. That's cool. Fees are what we worry about. Which link is the PDF? The one that says upload. Hold on, let me do a separate. It says upload PDF. SSN Nation or Stop Struggling Now. Here it is right here. I'll just get this for you. I think this is it. I'm going to put it in the chat room. Is that separate? Let's see. I think it's separate. So that should be in the chat room for you. That should be separate. Lavelle Israel. I don't like to share seeds of my crypto to anyone. No custodies. I need 100% control. Oh, yeah. You're not, no seeds. That's right. Nobody gets custodial situations. That's right. I agree, Replace. No seeds to anybody. Never, ever. Also, Eric, once you master a strategy and are successful, stick with it. Don't try to be cute and adjust. That's another no-go. You're right about that, too. Very good advice, post-retirement travel. Thank you for that. Again, that's solid advice right there, because that's exactly what happens. You know, here's the funny part. Let me explain. You know what's funny? I'll give you guys a perfect example because I akin this to poker, right? Because it's money management. Daniel Negreanu, who most of you may have heard of, that plays professional poker. He's a great player. He played a different way, like when I played and he played 10 years ago, right? 10 to 15 years ago. He played a different way. He played based on just what I'm telling you. Read, right? He had this uncanny ability. He can narrow down the range of cards that a person has by the way their demeanor is, by the way they bet, the way they move their chips or whatever. This guy had a sixth sense, but he's been playing poker for, I mean, but 10 years ago, he was already playing poker for 10 years. You follow what I'm saying? So he had this uncanny ability that he could just tell what your cards were and he would bet accordingly. He would call stuff that you're like, how? And it's amazing, right? So now they came out with this new GTO or whatever they call it strategy, which I'm not a fan of either. But he went into that arena based on your cards you're holding, and it had some outcomes and percentages. So he went from reading people to going off of a different strategy, going off of, well, my two cards are this. The GTO says that. I have a 60% chance on these cards, so I'll just play these cards. Whereas before, he went with what he knows, right? He went almost 10 years without winning a tournament. After that change, And some people, me included, Helmuth included, says it's because he changed his strategy. He started going off of these cards when before he went off of people's demeanor, what they're betting, what cards they're having, how much they have behind them, and what they're doing. The whole calculation was based on what he has seen for years. But instead, he changed up. And that change up meant he's a different player. And he didn't have the same winning. He couldn't win a tournament. I swear it must have been about 10 years, which is crazy for him. The dude is so awesome. It's inconceivable if somebody said, you know what, Daniel Negreanu is not going to win like a major tournament for like 10 years. You would have been like, you'd have laughed. You'd have been like, that's not possible. You see what this guy does? So I'm just bringing up the point that post-retirement travel is saying, if you have something that's successful, when it comes to numbers, just keep in mind, odds and numbers are the same. You cannot win 100%. You can't bust the casino. You can't bust the Forex market. So you have to come to grips. You have to say, this is profit. I'll take this and be happy. You don't need to risk more money. You can't break the bank. All right. You need to concentrate on how much you keep from the profits. That's what you need to concentrate on. All right. That's the most important thing, the way I see it, even though I look at things differently, like this trading stuff. I look at it just like poker. Money management, mandatory. All right, Eric, you should create an SSN ETF we all can drop some money into. hey, I can't do that, unfortunately. But yeah, man, I'll consider that. I thought about it, but then I was like, oh, man, I'm not going to pass whatever background check they need, right? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Law of Compensation. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And whenever I see Mr. Compensation, I just get giddy. It's like the man has blossomed. He's come out of his shell finally. After I saw him down in Florida, and he's like, hey, come on, man, you're better than this. He's come out of his shell, which I'm happy to report. And this also reminds me, you guys got to go over and show some love at his channel because he's come out of his shell finally. Click on his profile, and I'm going to tell you whose other profiles you need to click on. Post-retirement travel, Mr. Worldwide's about to start his worldwide trip, I believe, next month sometime. Starting another one. This time it's going to include some of the EU and Asia, I believe. So you guys got to get on his channel and his Instagram channel, and Mr. Law of Compensation, otherwise known as Mr. Compensation. Go to TikTok and go check him out there too. So that's the two. And by the way, got to show some love for renewable energy sources via automobile. You guys know we love our automobile speaker systems. Imagine being able to upgrade at cheap prices with consistent clean power to your clean speakers, crispier sounds because of EV Place. That's what he does. Go check him out on eBay, ladies and gentlemen. I put the link down below in the chat room. You can go find out. I know some of you right now are classic car guys running around with that garbage AM, FM going, I want to be stock. Nothing wrong with that, though, although I'm busting your balls about it. But your sound system can be upgraded, crisper, clearer. He's using some new technology, not that 1975, 1985, 1995, 2005 technology, the latest stuff. Crispy, clean sounds. That's what makes your music sweet. All right, especially when you're at them car shows. Come on now. And you can run it. How about you can run it for an hour without having to recharge or running down your battery? So why not get two in parallel? That'd be 2 hours. Just saying. Go check them out, ladies and gentlemen, on eBay. I put the link down below in the chat room. All right? That's what we do here. All right. Yep. We're feeling good, Mr. Compensation. As you know, today's take from the gold USD, $874.11 from the Auto Trader bot. I call it the Auto Trader bot, but it's the Gold Rush Auto Trader bot. All right. 874.11 profit today. Again, another good day, day 5. So can't complain. Biznessa says, I like your idea of multiple bots once you're using house money. Exactly. That's the way we got to do it, right? Just like anything else. Once you make some profits, why not just throw some of the profit into a second one? And if it performs as well as the first, then we're winning. Especially since my expectations aren't trying to break the bank. Whenever it has to do, I consider this casino work. Whenever it has to do with casino work, I'm like, take my profits. I told you guys what was it, Wednesday? When I told you guys I used to win a lot at roulette and I'd be at Harrah's Reno, Mr. VIP, I'm proudly to say, in my early 20s, I'm proud to say. And so these guys, I'd make my money at the tables, 600, 1,000, 1,500. I have all the colors and craps. I have 10, 15 people watching because they're like, how's this guy winning? And I'd have 600, 1,000, $1,500. I would say, oh man, what am I doing? Okay. I take $1,000. I say, hey guys, I'll be back. And I walk across the street to Western Union. I wire myself $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, whatever my winnings are. So when I know it's already there, then I come back and I start playing with whatever I would usually start with, what was it? You guys will love this. I started with $200. That's it. That's what my starting bankroll would be, $200 to play roulette. And people would be like, what are you doing? And I do exponentials. So I'll even explain this. And in fact, there's people that do this professionally now, but I don't do what they did. I did something because I didn't know people played a certain way. What I did was I played on the outside, the thirds. I was like, I like a 62% chance to win, right? And then the second part is you have to know it's random. So when you spin the wheel, it's random. You have red, black, and 2 greens. So once you understand that it's random, is it really random? So let me give you an idea. There's 36 numbers and they're red, black on the inside. And then the board is split up into 1 through 12, 13 through 24, 25 through 36, something like that. So now let me ask you guys something. There's 3 sections on the board. If it hits in the first section the first time, the second section, the second spin, the third section on the first or the second, the fourth or the fifth, sooner or later, you start realizing, well, wait a minute, it hit 5 times in these 2 sections. It's never hit in this section. So what's the odds of it going in that section? It's higher, right? So now I would be like, okay, I would cover 2/3 of the board and you only win back another chip. But that's not the whole point. Here's the point. So I'll give you a perfect example. Playing a 5, let's see. It's exponential, but I'll say 5 and 5, $5, $5, playing on the side for the first 23 numbers, right? Okay, so I lose. That means I spent $10. In order for me to get back $10, I have to bet 20. You understand, right? Because you only get one, so it pays only 1 to 3, basically. So now, let's say I win. Okay? I lost the 10, right? I put up the 20, but now I won 20. You follow what I'm saying? So in essence, I have a positive 10 because I didn't lose that hand. Now, what happens? I say, okay, I take that and we got 10 again, but remember, I'm at even. So then I say, well, hell, that hit, let's just call it a 36 red. Now, I'm paying attention because remember, there's half black, half red. Now, out of those spins, let's say there's multiple spins. Out of those spins, 4 out of 5 red spins happened. 1 time out of 5 blacks happened. But you know it hit in the third section for the red. So now you start realizing, well, wait a minute, which blacks it hasn't hit yet. Now you start placing them inside, which pays 35 to 1. And you know which row hit. So now you start eliminating rows because it's random. And a lot of people were explaining at the table and they're like, what are you doing? I said, it's random. And they'd be like, yeah, it's random. I said, yeah, we just had four reds pop up. It's got to be a black and it's got to be in this section. And they'd be like, how do you know that? I said, because it's 3 on the other side. I said, it hit this row in that section, so it should be out of these 2 rows in this number. And they'd be like, you narrowed it down to 3 numbers should hit right now? I said, yes. And I'd be betting just 3 numbers to 35 to 1. So now all of a sudden, 35 to 1, 5 times 35. When you hit, now I have some more armies of chips. And now all of a sudden we restart. So now I have, that's how you accumulate. So then I get a crowd. People used to be like, wow, how's this guy doing it? VIP would come up to try to mess with you. Hey, man, you got your free dinners. You want to stay overnight and all this stuff and try to, hey, we need a new dealer up in here. I'm like, it don't matter. It didn't matter. It's random. But anyhow, my rich dad, Mr. Love Compensation. Let's go, man. That's exactly right. EV Place. DIM Pals, we can always tokenize one of the DR properties and pay dividends from rent. And speaking of that, speak of the devil. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot believe what just happened. It's happening. There is a project inside Vista Cana. A person. Oh, I forgot to send this out on my, hold on a second. Oh, yeah, I couldn't send it out. God dog it. Hold on, I got to try this again because I got to get it on my computer. I want you guys to see this. This is incredible. $199,000. 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse inside Vista Cana, but not only that, inside Paseo del Sendero, part of Vista Cana. 199,000. Do you not hear me right now? Delivery 2027. They already have title for the land, which also means they've already subdivided it. 199, and not only that, 750 square foot roof. I'm like, oh no, they got a 3-level villa in Paseo del Sendero. And I'm like, holy smokes. And it's Guzman Properties, which is a very nice developer. Price, I don't know. I'm going to have the contract probably over the weekend. And I can't even believe it. I am shocked. Let me see how I'm going to get this. Let me see if I can get this on my Yahoo. I don't think so. It's 23 megabytes, which is sad. I used to be able to do that, and I got a word from Yahoo that they've changed up on me. Yep, looks like I can't get it there either. It's too big. So I'm not going to be able to show you tonight. Okay, hold on. I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. I'm glad you mentioned that dividends from rent. Exactly. That's what hey, you guys, I thought about it. This is what I was looking for SSN Lifestyle. Just so you guys know, that was going to be part of crypto. I didn't know if I wanted to get into it because I can't determine if DR allows crypto or not. And it seems like they don't, which is weird. Oh, this isn't even showing. I thought they were going to, oh man, this is not good. This is too small. Too small. Very small. These are other projects, but this one here, that's what it's going to look like. All right. Those are the townhouses. 3 levels high, 3-bedroom, 2 baths, 750 square feet on the deck. Let me see. Wait, I don't have wow. They had I didn't realize I didn't have everything. So it's no big deal. I'm not all broken up right now. Here it is. This is what's available, what's circled in red. $199. Of course, they're on the interior instead of the ends. The ends are going to be better, but $199. Oh, it includes a pool, by the way. Yes, includes the pool, includes all of the AC, white line, all included, $199 inside Vista Cana. Yes, it's not, but it's deep. It's not near the beaches or nothing. It's almost like I called it right away. I said, oh, this is the quiet area. As an investment vehicle, if you can sleep 10, that's the magic number. 10 is the magic number. So now if you can sleep 10, then that means you are at 395. Let's just stop. You can rent for $250 a night, 220 a night for a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath inside Vista Cana if you want to go that route. That would rent out a lot, in my opinion. 2-car parking. Now we have the setup for a vehicle, not a real vehicle. Golf cart, scooters, bicycles. You now have a vehicle, because if they're not going to be close to the amenities, because you're not going to be close to the amenities. It's inside Paseo del Sendero. They have amenities. They have their parks in there. I don't know what else they're ever going to bring in there, but right now it's just parks. But the point is, you have two-car parking. So therefore, you can have something there that can help any guest. So now it's no problem. You eliminate the problem about, I don't want to walk that far, way back here, right? Now you say, but you know what else is by Paseo del Sendero on the exit? Right on the other side is Sabana for the horseback riding. As soon as you come out of Paseo del Sendero, you make a left, and on the other, they're sharing the same fence. So you can actually say you are by the horseback riding section. $199 in Paseo del Sendero is like, where do I get my 15%? I got to get my 15%. I got to start taking some money out. I love this. And I'm like, hold on. I think I might pull a trigger on this myself. I got to look more into it, but I'll do a video probably tomorrow once I get more info, because I don't have the right PDF. I didn't even open the PDF when they sent it to me. I thought it was a different PDF. Yeah, I got to find out about that. Yeah. Yeah, this is and 199k. Unbelievable. 1,730 square feet and 750 square feet of terrace space. Can't get any better than that, ladies and gentlemen. And that would help me with the SSN lifestyle. So what you're talking about, I'm not going to, I can't even do it regularly because, I'm not an investment firm, or I'm not that. But tokenizing, that's a whole nother ball game. Because I think it's Wild West, because in America, I can do tokenize. In fact, I can use SSN Lifestyle America to tokenize for it and share and do all kind of crazy stuff. I've thought about it, and this is what I was waiting for. I actually think this is going to happen. Like I told you guys before, I think over the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to be in a position for things like this, because you cannot sell. This is going to appreciate, though. That's the other thing. You cannot sell stuff for 350 grand and just be like, oh yeah, we're going to sell them like hotcakes. Them days are over. All right. Those are over. But a 199 duplex / almost like a villa, I don't mind sharing one wall. Right. And it's a villa size. 1,731 square feet is decent inside. 750 square foot terrace. And I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was 10 grand. The terrace is open. So you can buy the developer's made terrace with the sink and the barbecue grill and some other things. Or you can just leave it blank and do it yourself. And quite frankly, it's a give or take for either one, but I would probably, it depends. Because if they, I'd probably do it myself. Because then I have it made my way. As long as they bring up the water, bring up everything like they're supposed to, bring up the electrical, and let it there. Then I'll go get my guys to bring that in because I'm not going to spend whatever it was. It was something kind of maybe out of line, but it might have been all right. But still, I can't remember if it was 10 grand or 20 grand or 30 grand. I was looking at so many numbers today about gas stations. So I can't really remember offhand. I thought it was going to be in this. I didn't realize I didn't even open it. I should have opened it earlier. Then I could have gotten the real one. Nice, Victor. Got to check out you and the Mrs. Travels and all my SSN fam channels. Exactly. DIM. I like the way that sounds, EV Place. Exactly. Exactly. That's how you can do it, right? EV Place. Thank you, Eric. New sound order is coming. Exactly. That's exactly right. Nice. See, Mr. Law of Compensation. This meets the criteria 199 for a townhouse that's, my God, 3 levels. And again, you guys don't understand how excited I got when I saw the 3rd level. I was like, because this was something I wanted these guys to, I couldn't get approval. In 2020 and 2021, even 2022, they weren't approving any of the villas or townhomes for 3 levels. At the time, they were like, no, you can't have 3 levels. I was like, then F it then. Because I'm looking at it as a rental. 3rd level terrace means a lot if you have a villa or a townhome. That adds value. And it's a villa, not a condo, which means you have more space. And your terrace should be bigger, which it is. 750 square feet is pretty big. So that gives you a lot of things you can do. And I don't recommend putting this jacuzzi up there. I'm just going to say right now. Oh, by the way, I said it once. I'm going to say it again. It includes a pool. Just saying. 199 includes the pool. That's crazy. All right. So anyhow, I will be a broker for them, I'm sure, because I love when somebody does the right thing. It's going to be delivered July, August 2027. 15% down, 35% during delivery. During construction, sorry. 35% during construction, 50% during delivery. That's their initial offerings. 199 inside Paseo del Sendero. I was like, I thought it was outside of it, but I had to double check because it's down there. And I sent the message going, oh, so this is like next to Paseo del Sendero section. And they sent back a message. I had to take a double take. No, it's inside Paseo del Sendero. In case you're not familiar with Vista Cana, you have to get gates to go in. And then certain projects themselves have their own security gates. Well, Paseo del Sendero has condos, villas, townhomes. But in order to get in Paseo del Sendero section, you have to go through their gate. The whole rest of the place is pretty much open, but you got to go through their gate too. Just like at Sabana, they're going to have a gate right next door. So I love the double gate thing, right? And it's in there. And it's not that and the appreciation for those properties. We have people who bought in there that have 13 to 1,500 square foot properties. Their properties have doubled. They bought them for 150. Get this, in 2019, 2020, 150, 160. Their properties are worth 300 and something right now. Can you believe somebody's doing a 199 in there, giving you 2022 prices, 2021 pricing? I'm like, holy smokes. But we knew this was going to happen because there's a slowdown in buying. So you just can't charge what you used to charge. So therefore, I believe this was going to be a special scenario that's going to happen over the next 3 years. Or, well, things may be changing. Hold up. That ruling today by the appellate court talking about the Trump tariffs are not thing. That's a serious thing. That's very serious. That if you can cut tariffs off and businesses no longer have to deal with that, now all of a sudden businesses don't have to spend for the import, thin air for imports. Now all of a sudden prices come down, people start being able to afford and buy things. That changes the whole, we don't have to fire employees. Hey, we all of a sudden have changed what normally happens. Eric, it's not random. I met a guy who worked on those roulette machine production warehouses. It's far from random. Exactly. It's not random. You got that exactly right. So Yeah, he probably told you there's some things they can do. But the point of the matter is the table itself, it starts, it, there's, when you start chopping it into pieces, say, like I said, do a third, the counts, the third on the top and the third on the bottom, and then count the colors. All of a sudden you start realizing, well, wait a minute, the next number should be red in this section. Okay, but there's only 4 reds in this section. Let's say, I can't really remember. I haven't done it in so long. So now I'm like 35 to 1. Oh, hell yeah. $20 on each one. Beautiful. $600, whatever. I'm like, and then when it hits, people are like, how did you know? I'm like, because it just hit off 5 blacks all in these other sections. It didn't hit in this section. This section is probably going to be coming up next or the next. So it's going to be red about now. And if not now, next now. If it doesn't hit now, next. And I can do once, I can do twice when it does 35 to 1, right? Anybody can make it work. It's a math equation, is what I used to tell people. Too bad there wasn't social media because people would be freaked out. What? Yes, James Way, 199. Exactly. And townhouse, 3 levels. Unbelievable. Downstairs, living room, dining room, kitchen, out the patio door, a pool. Second level, half bath also downstairs. Second level, master bedroom has obviously the bathroom. The other 2 bedrooms share a bathroom. Third level, 750 square feet of terrace space. And you can put in their renderings I saw, which I thought the PDF was, it's not. They have the, barbecue grill, faucet, sink. But if you have faucet, sink, you know what that means. That also means there's going to be a bathroom upstairs, right? Clearly, right? You're going to put you're going to change that up. You'll say, I'll put my own stuff up there. You bring up the water, I'll put the faucet running out to the other one. And I'll do my own barbecue thing. I don't need your help, right? And then whatever else I want to put up there, right? That's a big space. 750 square feet is a big space. Okay, that's half the battle. They have title. Yes, Biznessa. They have title. Get this, 100% complete. They have title to their land. They have already subdivided. Each parcel has its own title. They're ready to go, just like we do in America. That is what got me even more giddier. I was like, you got to be kidding me right now. Hold on, we got to check this out. That's another thing, right? But that's what they say. It's already subdivided. Each lot has its own title. That is a major thing that you picked up on. You're exactly right, because what's been happening is they do the land, and then all of a sudden they have to get the title. Then it's another year goes by. Then it's like, oh, well, now you're trying to finish, you build the buildings and you go down and get subdivision. That's what they've been doing in the DR. Now you're waiting another year for the title. And it took you 6 months to a year to build it. So now you're at 3.5, 4 years. What? Meanwhile, you told people it's going to be delivered in 2 years. No, I checked straight up. I said, don't even talk to me if you don't have title to each lot already, because I don't want to hear you built it. Then you got to get the title, which you don't tell anybody. And it's a year and a half later before you can give title. And unbelievably, people move in without title. That's silly. Do not recommend that. But you are exactly right. That's the battle right there. That is the battle. They have all title deed, everything. Lavelle Israel in the house. I see he's got one of those icons. That's right. One of them Turo money. There you go, man. There you go. I don't like Turo, though. Just saying. Can't sneeze at 6 G's. Exactly, Lavelle Israel. That's it, exactly. Nobody should be these days. You are a 3-bedroom villa, 3 floors. Yes, that's what they're doing. It's 1,731 square feet with the 750 square foot terrace, 3 levels inside Vista Cana. I can't even believe, you know what? I do believe it because, again, 2020, 2021, I was trying to get them guys. I said, you know what would be cool is if you allowed villas to be 3 levels because I wanted to have a special villa because they were only going to be 160, 170. I was like, dudes, can you give me a third floor level? They're like, no, we're not allowing third floors. I was like, yeah, but the condos are 4 or 5 floors with the penthouse. What's the problem? Oh, no, we can't. Now look, and guess what? I'm lucky. We're lucky. 199. There's only 3, by the way. Only 3. If you're interested, you better hit me up. We have a WhatsApp group, but probably go support at stopstrugglingnow.com because I'm pretty sure they're only 3, and they're the 3 that I showed you on the interiors, of course. We know they're not going to be on the ends, which it's a give or take about being on the end because if you're at the end where people come into the complex, you got noise, right? If you're on the interior, and if I had my choice, I'd probably pick the interior at the end when you come in and I'm down at the end. I don't want people driving in and out and all. I want to be at the end, close, furthest away from any noise points. Not to say my neighbors, though, they might be noise points themselves. But all I'm trying to say is I'm trying not to be up near the road, even though there's not going to be much sound, but still, I don't want to be up near the road. Yes, 3-bedroom villa, 3 floors. Yes, they're allowing a terrace. Hold on. How come I don't? Man, why didn't they send this to me? Why'd they send me this thing? Hold on. Let me look at this again. Hold on a second. I can't believe they sent me this thing. It's not even the right one. I got to get on them about that. Yeah, this is not even cool. There's better things than that. That kind of looks like it, but that's not it. That's not cool. All right. So you can see some of the other buildings they built. The one in the middle is similar, but now you see the one on the end. That's the one. That's a terrace upstairs. Inside Vista Cana, 3 levels, which also means they're probably allowing other people to go 3 levels now. Every house is brick and it automatically has 3 levels, but they didn't build a stairwell to get through to the 3rd level. So this is going to make a whole bunch of people maybe unhappy, maybe not. But all I know is I'm happy. 199 is a great deal. And if this is, I got to re-verify because I can't believe this is in Paseo del Sendero. Like I said, um, here we go. Look at this bottom picture, right? Where's that the one? Yep. The black and white. Is that it? Black and white? No, not black and white. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, this one right here. Wrong side. Here's the picture. That is, hold on. Is that, there we go. Front. That's the front. Attached though, so you can partially see it. The black and white picture right there. And you can see the top level looks like there's a bar coming across. That is a terrace. Oops. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I need a better picture than that, but 199. Come on, there's only 3 at that price. Price is going to go up to 209, obviously, for the whatever other ones. But hell, somebody might think like me, the end for 299 at the back. If it's not sold, I don't have the list yet, but I will have the list by the weekend. So these are probably going to go pretty fast. Either one, but they said something about 209. Let me see if I have that. Oh, that was on another platform. I think they said it's going to be 209 or the other ones are 209. I couldn't tell. I was like, I'll deal with that later. So anyhow, there you go. That's the deal. Post-retirement travel. Study finds 95% of tested beers contain toxic forever chemical. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. I don't drink beers. I guess God said that's the reason you don't like beers, Eric. We're not going to put those forever chemical. Jesus Christ. Hey, by the way, um, I want to show you guys something. I went through my uncle broke out some Dr. Pepper, right? Uh, you guys, health is wealth. He broke out some Dr. Pepper. And in case you don't know, um, sugar and carbs are bad for your body. Carbs turn into sugar. Look at this label. Can you guys see that? Look at this. Do you see carbs 40 grams? Do you see sugar 39 grams? Do you guys understand that 79 packs of sugar in one can? This is what he's been drinking. Do you not understand what you put your body through and it's going through your bloodstream, going to your organs? That is bad for you. Once it's in your bloodstream, it starts going and it starts causing all kind of things like cancer in your brain. People go, how did it get to your brain? Because your blood carried it. Stuff like this, sugar, tumors eat off of sugars. All right. That's what cancer basically is, right? So I could not believe this when I said, yeah, let me see how much it is. And when I saw this, I was like, carbs turn into sugar. That's 40 grams. And you know what we had is 80 packs of a box of 80 packs of stevia we just bought at the grocery store today, right? And I said, hey, Uncle, look, I dumped out the whole box and I said, all of this is 80 grams of sugar is in one can of Dr. Pepper. And I was like, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, come on. You can go down and get zero Dr. Pepper now, luckily, because we went to the store. Canada Dry ginger ale has 55, I think, grams. When you add carbs and sugar, he loves that too. That's 55 grams per can. Luckily, Canada Dry has zero sugar. Now, I don't know what other stuff is in there, but just saying. I don't really recommend drinking sodas, quite personally. News. Yes, I see the news emails. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me, Brian P. Everything was going great. Now you're telling me there's toxic. First of all, there's toxic chemicals and damn near a lot of stuff. Our government doesn't protect us. Let's get real. You have to take it upon yourself to make sure you get the best fruits, vegetables, meats, if you like meats and all that. Health is wealth. A lot of people are going to start finding out here in the next 2 to 3 months when they don't have Medicaid and their hospital closed down because they live in rural areas. They're going to find out how much to stay alive is really going to be because they're going to have to pay for prescriptions, transportations to and from places that may be an hour away, and medical prescriptions that could be $1,000 to $1,500, $800, $500. This is going to be bad. All right. Just saying, your health is wealth. The longer you don't have to take pills, don't have to worry about anything that's wrong with your body, the better. All right. And why poison your body on a daily basis? That's not necessary. I will try to get to those because I can check my emails now. By the way, the jacuzzi on the roof has to wait. Still dealing with spiral steps probably. I knew that, you know, that really bugged me about the spiral staircases because that is a hazard on epic proportions just by looking at it. Even after you built it, it would have been like, what if somebody slips? What happens if somebody's drinking and they partying? And I mean, it's right here off the balcony. That's kind of crazy to me. They're charging you for that too, which makes it very interesting. But I'm glad to hear EV Place. The jacuzzi on the roof has to wait. You know, I'm all for no jacuzzi. I'm all for it. Just saying. I'm all for it. Now you have an excuse to return to Punta Cana. Here comes Eric going back with the vengeance. I sent you an email. Got a call yesterday from Galaxy. Our closing date to be announced. They're still sticking with December 2025. Interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, then, I will be very happy for you because that's only 4 months away. Very happy after all this long journey. My God, Galaxy, a level higher, all the weight. Now you get to play. Now you get to reap the rewards. I was hoping it would actually last another year, quite frankly. Um, Yael Dennis, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Thank you so much for being in the house. Greatly appreciated. Very nice to see you once again. Good night, family. Good night, man. Thank you so much for checking it out. Hey, hello, Eric. A tot of uncertainty about the economy and investment, but hearing you keeps me moving. Yael Dennis, there you go, man. Thank you so much. It's what you invest in. Once you understand what's going to happen, then you make investments accordingly. Just like the Federal Reserve is going to reduce the interest rate next month. They're going to succumb to pressure when in fact they should be increasing it because inflation went up to 2.9% unofficially because groceries and energy don't count. Wait till the PPI, PCE, whatever you want to call it, comes out. It's going to be 3.3 to 3.6. So, however you slice it, year over year, it's going to be without food and energy included, 3.3%. Once you include food and energy and tariffs, now we're talking double digits. It's very simple. So, what do you invest in when the market's like that? Study, find out. Again, when they start reducing the interest rates, guess what starts happening with those mortgage-backed security REITs? Not only do you get 19 to 22% dividends right now for ARR, PSEC, ORC, AGNC at 17%. All of a sudden, they're able to refinance their loans. So then their rate is lower. They get more profit. Their stock value increases along with your 18, 19, 20% dividends coming in. Just saying. All right. Hello, Yael Dennis. Hello, man. Once again, good night, fam. Oh, I guess I'm going over this again. But thank you so much for that. Thank you for listening. I appreciate your support, man. That's very nice. I wonder how they made it work to be at only 199k for all that space. Those prices for all that space don't exist anymore. Exactly. That's what I was saying. At 1731, we're at 1500 to 2000. So, of course, I said, I don't believe it. I need to see the contract because I want to know what the contract has a cap or what it says because I know good and well this contract is going to say an escape clause. It's going to say something like, yeah, if the price goes up, we're going to go by statistics one and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, anything can happen in a year and a half, right? Anything can happen. So the question is, what does that contract say? So I should have the contract this weekend because I don't believe 199 will be the price. I believe they're going to do, well, it's 40, 50 grand more, 250, 260, 270. We're now, eh, eh, I'm not impressed, but that 750 square foot terrace, that's major. That's major. And if it's in fact inside Paseo del Sendero, that changes, that makes it better. If it was going to be like in a area that's not inside Paseo del Sendero, but just out back, far away from most things, I was like, I don't really care. But when they said that, I was like, hold up, send me info. I want to see if this is really inside. I don't believe you. Send me some aerial shots, something. Because this price is what they were charging 3 years ago. And not even this big of a place with a terrace either. So how they're going to count this is 2,500 square feet. That's how they do it. They include the terrace now. It's crazy. Looking at investment in Vista Cana and Primavera 3. I could have invested in EFT and get nice returns by now. Exactly. I know, man. That's what I had a beef with. That's why I had a little falling out because I started expressing this BS they're doing 5, 6, 7 years. And between 2019, 2020, and 2021, the stock market has hit all-time record highs 3 times. Well, more if you, what I'm trying to say is at the end of Trump's term, the first time, all-time record highs out of COVID. Biden running on COVID, the best economy in the G7 and all that coming out of COVID, we hit all-time record highs again. And even now, the stock market is even higher under Trump. So you had 3 opportunities to be in at low prices and rise above the previous high. And just being in the market, you would have been a winner of epic proportions, 30%, 50%, 100%, 200%. Stock splits with Nvidia and Apple and all this stuff. You miss out on all that 20, 30, 50 grand that you gave to somebody else and it's sitting there on the sidelines, or 75 grand. Jesus, you would have had 200 grand in 5 or 6 years or more, because remember, Nvidia just in 2021, 2022 was $40. It went up to over $1,000. Even if you only had like 20 shares, you still would have had like over 20 some $1,000, and it split. And now it's back to 180, which gives you another 50% return. So in essence, you could have had 30 grand if you would have just bought a few $1,000s worth of Nvidia. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. This is crazy. And Tesla and Apple. And I mean, the list goes on and on. Amazon and Google, all this. It's like these things were under $100. So you had, I mean, this is insane. This is insane. All the dollars we missed out on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why. I would just say this: Primavera 3. Why Primavera 3 versus Primavera 4 with the lake? Get a nice return. You're right, man. Oh, you already invested in Prim 3, P3. Okay, I get it. Well, either way, you made, hey, you're going to make out because the prices you purchased back then are so low. They're selling that C suite now for 185. If you bought the C unit, the 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath unit in 2020, 2019, 2021, it was under 100 grand. It was like 60 grand. At the beginning, you could have bought a C for 60, 70 grand. Then it was 80, then it was 105, then it was 120. They're selling them now for like 185, 190. So I mean, but quite frankly, I'd rather have the 50 grand or 40 grand, right? In the market, or half, not even that, 10 grand in the market would be worth, I don't, if you got the right stocks, would be in the 100,000. It's crazy. You're exactly right, Brian P. Building materials price index. Keep an eye on that in the contract. Exactly. That's what I'm going to be looking for. We know how it works. We know all the tricks. All of the tricks. Hey, boss, what are some of those real estate ETFs? I think they will do well. Exactly. ORC. Here's high risk for you. ARR. It's already at 20, 21%, 22, somewhere in there. PSEC. AGNC. Those are like my favorites. There's also things like NLY. I'm probably missing something else, but those are 5 of 5 right there. I do. Once they start reducing the interest rate by the Federal Reserve, these guys get to do in-house refis, and they're going to do 0.25 first. So that means they're going to be down to 4%. Well, actually, I think they're going to fudge. It's going to be 3.75 to 4.25. And I think they're going to give their preferred customers like these guys a 3.75 or something. So that'll get them down from whatever rate they have. And that gives us more profit, which is going to increase their stock price, I believe. And so now the question is, they already started talking about doing more cuts, which then would be 3.5 for them potentially, 3.5, 3.75. So they get better over time if this scenario happens. And actually, I like the scenario could happen if the appellate court that just ruled against these tariffs and all of a sudden the Supreme Court upholds it. Oh, we're back in business, ladies and gentlemen. not trying to wreck the economy on purpose, all of a sudden things start heating up real good, real fast. And quite frankly, I think the stock market's going to move upwards. I think that's going to be like, oh, we have normalcy back. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Hopefully that helped you out with some of that. Funny how Fidelity guy quit during Biden. Crabs High Lookout, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Fidelity guy, I don't know the Fidelity guy. Yeah, no surprise. I mean, under all kind of stress, people quit. Remember, a lot of people had a lot to do. Got a new broker because they were all quoting because it wasn't worth the money anymore during Biden. I don't know what you mean. If you have a broker that you call, why would you do that in the 2020 era? You have Robinhood, Webull, Moomoo, and a whole host of others that you have information that a broker has. So yeah, they're quitting. Why would you? And I don't know why you say this, because Biden had an all-time record high stock market too. So why? I mean, there's transactions happening. They had all-time record highs. And now Trump has all-time record highs. Nobody's quitting. I mean, they can quit because there's no reason to have brokers. Who's calling brokers? Seriously now. You seriously paying a fee? Come on, man. Stop gaslighting me over here. Come on. You're not paying a fee, are you? Come on now. You're not calling up a broker, are you? Seriously? All right. Post-retirement travel. I got to hear this. You calling up brokers and giving them a commission? That's crazy. Fidelity ETF Vinny Q is a popular one. Has returned 7.4% lifetime. Yeah, you can do a lot better with ETFs like, oh, thank you. I was getting ready to say, I have a blockage here for some reason. I have a block because I got quitting. I got quitting on my screen and it's covering something. Crabs High Lookout. Come on, man. You done messed up my screen back here. Get me all heated. Okay, let's just get things straight. Obama, all-time record high on the stock market. Trump won, all-time record high on the stock market. Biden, all-time record high on the stock market. Trump, 2, all-time record high on the stock market. The Federal Reserve helps that happen all the time because they buy equities. They buy a lot of equities. So their job, they have a vested interest in the stock market. And guess who else? The exchanges have a vested interest in the stock market. So they take stocks out that are not performing and put in new stocks that are performing. So that allows it to keep rising. This is why the top 10% of the wealthiest own 93% of the stock market, and why you should. And I'm very happy, Crabs High Lookout, you have purchased stocks, I hope. And if you don't like stocks, then maybe some ETFs, just like what post-retirement travel is suggesting. SPY, QQQ, VOO. And of course, I love the Vanguard group, so I'm a guy. VOOG, VTI, VGT. I'm just saying, I love all those. All right, my guys, the Vanguard group. Okay, 7.4. Well, yeah, JEPQ been out like a year, I think, year and a half maybe, or time flies. Maybe it's 2 years. I can't remember. But right now, if you buy JEPQ, you get 11.3% dividends. That's JP Morgan ETF. 11.2, you're on track, and it went down, so it's probably still 11.2%. Imagine. That's why I love JEPQ, because it's hovering right there. The stock price is staying there. You get a true 11%, reinvest. You can get it to move up to 12. Yeah, $6 a year, $6.25 they're on track for as a dividend this year. 55 or 50 cents per stock. Sheesh. You got to love it for a $55 stock. $6.25. You get 11.2, 11.3, 11.4, somewhere in there. And if you're lucky enough to have your dollar cost average at $53, it's not 11. It's 12%. 12 point something. That's right. Take advantage, ladies and gentlemen. We're dropping some gems, some nuggets. Do your own research. Post-retirement travel. Thanks, fam. Exactly. Exactly. That's what we do here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I love what we're talking about. Oh, yeah, it's Friday night. I forgot all about it. Friday night story night, and I gave some stories. Sheesh. Got the Daniel Negreanu stories about how he had that. You know what? Let me go look at something. I told you guys about it. Let me go see. How long between major tournament wins did Daniel? Let's go look it up. Negreanu go through. Okay, and something changed about a year or 2 years ago. Let's see what happens if Google comes up with it. Let's see. He's still going to be in the Poker Hall of Fame though, regardless, because he's a badass player and one of the nicest guys too, and knows multiple languages. Um, oh, it didn't come up. Oh, it's not telling me. AI is not telling me. But then again, he plays in a lot of games, so 11 years, ladies and gentlemen. 2013. 11 years after he changed the way he was playing. 11 years because he changed his way of playing. That's incredible when you think about it. JEPQ is excellent. Has returned 14.94%. Preach in 1 year. 15%. Yes, opportunities are there. You have to go for it. You can build wealth at the stock market. That is right. And passive income. That's the other thing. It's passive. And they distribute the first week of the month, if you like weekly payouts. The first week of the month, they do monthly payouts, but the first week of the month is generally when they drop the dividend. So, like next week, I believe it's probably going to drop because that's going to be like, let me go look, September 4th or 5th. That's when it's going to drop if it's Monday through, yeah. So, sometime between Tuesday and Friday is going to be the dividend drop. And it's not like the weekly payout. So if you even buy the JEPQ, you're not going to fall on their ex-dividend date. It already passed. So your first dividend will be the first week in October. All right. So just keep that in mind. But thank you for bringing that up, post-retirement travel. I didn't realize I'm getting 12 point something is what I'm, because my dollar cost average is like, I think it's 53. 52.8 or something in that ballpark. So that squeezes me into, I think it's near 12, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, I can just go look. I mean, it's 50. I'll just use 53. Oh, sorry. 62 divided by 53. Eh. No. 6.25. I think it's more than 6.25, by the way. You know what? I think it's more than 6, but it don't matter. I'll do it this way. Let's go look. So if it's 53, 11.7. So yeah, I must be at 52 point something because I'm like at 12 for sure, but I think they upped it. But we'll see. I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. It's all good. All right. Both JEPQ and JEPI will pay dividends September 5th, next Friday. Right on cue. Right on cue. We love JEPI, JEPQ. JEPI runs around 9%. There's a difference in the gap, which is interesting because they used to run pretty neck and neck, but I've stuck with the JEPQ in our tech markets and crypto and AIs and all that because the S&P 500 just keeps rocking and rolling. A new record. Again, it's crazy. If you're not in the stock market, you have to be crazy right now, ladies and gentlemen. That's not a good thing to do. If you can get passive income, and there's several ways you can do it via the stock market, yes, you don't need that much. You don't need tens of thousands. You can start with just a few $100, a cup of coffee, just like post-retirement travel always says. A cup of coffee every day. You could be buying a little crypto. You can be buying some dividend stocks. You can be buying the blue chips. Magnificent Seven types, the Microsofts, the Amazon, the Googles, the Apples, the Nvidias, and all that. You can do that. but get some dividends too that stick with a price that's stable, that you don't have to. In JEPI, JEPQ, that's JP Morgan, that's one ETF that does it. If you want appreciation, stock values that go up, then you get the index funds, SPY, QQQ, for instance. Then you can do some crazy stuff with yield max ETFs that gives you some high returns, but there's high risk, high rewards, because the stock price can go down because they're doing option income trading. It's not based on a corporation. They're basing it on, we give out yield max themselves. I'm saying we as in yield max. They give out the dividend profits from their option income trading to their stockholders, like a ULTY or a PLTR for Pelletier, right? And so this week it was Misty, MSTY, that's MicroStrategy option trading, gave out a nice dividend today. And also SMCY, which is SMCI stock option income trading, the dividends also over $1 per share of SMCY. So those right there is pretty interesting. If you get $1 per share and you're holding 50 or 100, and the stock, yeah, it might have cost you 100 shares. Would it cost you 3,300? No. It's at 56, by the way, PLTY, I think. So that'd be $5,600, right? 100 shares would get you 100 and some dollars this month. So the question is, if you get $1,200 on a $5,700 investment, I believe that's a pretty good return if the stock price stays around that same number. So that's like 20%. That might even be more. In fact, I'll just do it. Why don't we just check it out if that was the case? Yeah, 1,500, 50, what was I saying? 53, 56. I'll just use 56. Doesn't matter. Divided by 5,600, 26.7% return. Just saying. You can do a lot with 25% returns. All right. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about the $800 day. In case you just showed up, it's Forex trading using an auto trader bot. That's right. An auto trader, gold trader bot. Oh, by the way, you know what? I'm going to show you guys something because somebody was asking me about this. Let me see. Do I have, let's go with, that's the close. Okay, it doesn't matter, I don't think. I don't think it's going to matter. Here, let me go to this picture here. This is the close. Let me see if it shows. Oh, yes, it does show. Okay, good. That's what I wanted. You guys were asking me about the trade pairs, right? I forgot to show you you can see it on it's faint. So let me see if I can get this up. I can see it on the screen, but I'm pretty sure you guys, oh, I just realized you're right. Oh, okay. Here we go. Can you see the cursor now? Let me know. Here's a trade pair, some of them. That's not all of them because this is off of a picture. You can scroll down. All right. But you can see the trade pairs right here. So now I'm going to go off the cursor. I can see the cursor on the screen. I'm hoping you guys can too. But now you shouldn't. My cursor is not going to be on screen. Okay. So it's USD CHF, GBP USD, Euro USD, USD JPY, USD CAD, AUD USD, EUR GBP. Yeah, there's several. And then you have the XXA USD, which is what we're trading on. You can see up in the black area on the upper left, you'll see XAU USD, and it's using the 0.1 10-cent movements is what it's set at, and that's the recommended one anyhow. But like I said, so far you guys can see down at the bottom Hopefully you can see the cursor. Because it's weird. I'm not on the page, but it moves it inside my studio. This is funny. Yeah, you can see it right here. 1874.11. The equity. That was after the close all. Buttons push. It took again about 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't even think it took 5 minutes. It probably took 5 minutes. It didn't take 10, I'm sure of that. But that 1874.11 is the equity for the day. The equity is the in part that's how much you're approximately going to make. And so the balance 1874.11 is fine, but the profit is $874.11 because we started with $1,000. So that's that's how it's calculated. We didn't make 1874 today. Profit, we made 874. All right. So everybody understands. If you want to get in on this, there's certain things that you should do. And I'll do it in the order below. The bot itself, a 1-year bot costs $1,000. The lifetime, which I recommend, is $2,500. All right. So it's that simple. Thank you, Post Retirement Travel. I appreciate that. Let me see. Oh, no, that was eBay, so I can't do that. I'm having a problem getting this up. Well, I'll go a different route then. Forget that. Just go over here and get it. Number one, if you haven't downloaded the CoinNext platform, that's the first thing you do. Register with that because that's how you're going to connect the auto trader bot. You're going to connect it to that. Number two, read the PDF or vice versa. Go over and register so you can buy your Gold Rush Auto Trader bot at goldrushregister.info for everybody on podcast. Goldrushregister.info. Put in my name, Eric Bird, BYRD, under the referral when you get down to it. That matters. That's helpful. People can earn commissions one time. And I'll put a link in the chat room box again for all three things. So make it nice and easy. Tracy will contact them and walk them through everything so they're not on their own. So you're not going to be on your own, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody's going to contact you for the goldrush.info, goldrushregister.info. You're not going to be on your own. You guys know how we do it. We're not going to leave you hanging. Somebody's going to help you. All right. Just keep that in mind. And of course, I can help you a little bit. So, just a little. But that's how we do it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So there you go. Everything in order right there. The PDF is there. Everything's there. You should be able to click on the link. And if you can't click on the link, you can copy the link and then paste it into your browser. All right. Because we had a question. Somebody couldn't do the Gold Rush register.info. Click on it. And it didn't work the other day. And Post Retirement Travel said you have to copy it and then paste it in your browser. So just saying, some of you might have that issue. So that reminded me. All right. It's Friday night. If anybody has anything else they want to discuss, even Mr. I love political stuff now. Come on now. I love political stuff. Crabs High Lookout. I love political stuff. There's a reason for everything. So when you say Fidelity, people were quitting, I don't know what that really means. I mean, brokers, I understand. If brokers were quitting under Biden, I don't, again, people don't need brokers. Ever since 2020-ish, Robinhood, Webull were basically the top places where people said, you can just trade online for free, no fees. So that's what started happening in the 2019, 2020s. And it just got better and better because their platforms were generic at first. But now they got a wealth of information and you can go up levels and they do other stuff, even give out loans and all kind of crazy stuff now. So now they've gotten a whole lot better where you don't even need a broker. You can get all the information you need. You can sign up analysts like on Robinhood. They have analysts. Just like on Webull, just like on Moomoo, they have analysts for each stock. And, it's 7 to 10 people. But The analysts say buy, hold, sell. And it would say, 7 analysts say this, two say this, one says that. So, I mean, there's so much information that you can get yourself. A broker tries to make money, by the way. So just keep that in mind. So, yeah, I would think a lot of brokers got fired between 2021 and 20 now. Who uses a broker these days? I mean, unless, of course, you're a senator and you just came out of the meeting that says, hey, COVID's coming, sell all my hotel and cruise stocks now. You do. I mean, let's get real. That's what they did after they came out the meeting, right? So, but if you're an ordinary citizen, you don't need to go through brokers anymore. Call them guys up. I want to buy something and all that. That's not necessary. Pay them a fee. That's crazy. That's crazy. And the stock market was at all-time highs under him. So again, that's kind of crazy in itself. Just like it's all-time high right now under Trump. S&P 500 breaking records. It's crazy. With all this turmoil, can you guys imagine if there was no turmoil, no tariffs, and actual infrastructure and getting things in order? Oh my God, the stock market would even be higher. I mean, I can't even imagine. I'm just happy the appeals court took away the tariffs. I expect if it's upheld within the next 7 to 10 days, I'm expecting the stock market, all three indexes, to go to new all-time highs. Quite frankly, that takes away some inflation pressure. So that's going to be great. I'm very happy to hear that because, I like you guys winning. I like all of us winning. You know that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up. If there's anything else you guys want to discuss or talk about, please let me know. But don't forget, the 800 day today was auto traded all the way. Started at 10 p.m. Pacific time. Looked at it around 8 a.m. The London stock market did not close at 8 a.m. Pacific. I believe it still had 30 minutes because it does run into the American Stock Exchange as well, right? Now it's open. 8 a.m. Pacific time, looked at it, saw 1905. It fluctuates, obviously. It's buying, selling. 1905, 1910. I was like, what am I waiting for? $900 or give or take 50 in either direction, whether it's 870 or 920, 940. Close out now. Let's see where it goes. And it ended up being $874.11 one night. Slept all night. I'm just saying. After I went to bed about 15, 20 minutes later, just so you guys know, it did go down to 600, 650. But again, because I was in the position of having profit, I wasn't sweating too much. If it was first night and I was paying attention, I might have sweated. Because that would have been the first 1,000, I might have sweated. But it went down to 6. I did not close out going, oh my God, I might lose all of it. I just said, I'm going to bed. I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to see what happens because the PDF says Fridays are good. I was like, at the first 15, 20 minutes, I'm like, Fridays don't look good. And then all of a sudden went to sleep, woke up to pleasant surprise. The equity said 1905, 1907. It was fluctuating, 1910, 1920. I was like, what am I doing looking at this? Just close this stuff out. Whatever it's going to be is great. Whether it's 8, I don't even care if it was 800. I was just like, my goal is 300. So why do I care? It's 800, way over my goal. If it closes anywhere near 900, I'm good. If it's 920, I'm good. If it's 875, I'm good. If it's 850, I'm good. I don't really care. But it's going to close somewhere in that ballpark. I'll take it. So can't beat that. Now, again, I could have closed out earlier. So keep in mind, that means it does go down. That means one of these days it can do something weird. So I'm just saying, so only put in what you can afford to lose in your account, but you should start with 1,000 according to the PDF. That's what I do. And I could get greedy one of these days. I might put in 2,000. Curious, how do you manage risk reward ratio? Again, I don't have a ratio. I call it money management. So what I do is I don't okay, I should preface this because again, thank you so much for being in the house. Bitmonger Asia, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night live stream. I'm a little different. So what happened is when I call it an experiment, right? So I was like, okay, the $1,000, the first of all, the $2,500 lifetime bot is the first expense. The 1,000, so we're talking about $3,500. But if you're going to be real about making money, you have to test. Other people are saying, yeah, I made X amount. Oh, good, I lost a little bit. Another person says I stopped it because it was down 300, 400. I didn't want to lose. People give different scenarios. I said I put 1,000 in. I want to see what happens. So if it goes to zero, then I'm going to put another 1,000 in. So I don't have risk management, so to speak. What I have is profit management. So now my goal is $200 to $300. I'm happy. So 4 out of 5 sessions, I let it run. I didn't pay no attention until the last. I shouldn't say that. 3 out of 5 sessions, 10 p.m. at Pacific time, and then woke up at whether it was 7:30 or 7, went to go look, and again, 309 was one day. I said, oh, wow, cool. It says equity was maybe 320 or 300. I don't remember, but close out 300. Woohoo. Second day, it was a Friday, Thursday night, and went to bed, woke up, and it said 1,000 something equity more, right? So profit. And I was like, is that really, at the time, I didn't know what I was looking at. I just saw 1,000 something on something balance, equity. And at the far right, there was a thing calling profit. And I was like, what's these nuts? Over here, it says $50, $75, $100, -20. And over here, I see like this thing ticking going, ah, another, I guess it said 2 grand or something. And then I see another thing that says 2 grand. I know I put 1,000, but I don't know what all this stuff means because they said I have to close out. When I closed out, it came off 1,000. So now I knew it was the 2,000 over here was the 1,000 originally plus the 1,000 is why it said 2,000. So then it's pleasantly surprised 1,030. Second session. Third session was, I guess it was Sunday night. It came out 291. So again, my goal is 300 and I'm trying to break it. I'm trying to find out what is going to happen. I know I have to lose sometime, but I already was like, if it hits 300. So the one session, it went like this. The only one that I manually said, pull, because I was watching it, the fourth session, and it went in 10 to 15 minutes. I was sitting there just checking it out, like, what's happening? Within the 10 to 15 minutes, it went up to it was over 300 profit. It was like 323, whatever. And so I was like, my goal's 300. So I just closed out. I said, I'm going to bed then. 300? Cool. So that's what happened. And then I read the PDF. And the PDF said the best days are Friday. And I was like, wow, yeah, the first Friday was 1,030. So, well, I just wait till Thursday night for Friday market, the London Stock Exchange. And then again, it turned out a great day. 1,000, obviously, in the account that starts the trading. But I did watch. It went down to 600. And again, I was like, oh, man, I'm going to bed. And then woke up, like I said, around 8. Might have been 7:45, but anyhow, I looked and said, oh, wow, that now I know what I'm looking at. And I saw 1906, 1905, 1910, roughly in the low 1900, meaning $1,000 I started with. So I'm looking at $900 some profit. I'm like, that's good. Close. And then it ends up giving me $874.11 profit this morning, today. So when you ask me, my risk management, I don't really have one. I'm in all the profit right now. So I'm doing very, very good. And so that's how I manage my risk. Not at all, really, other than if I wait 15 minutes or 10 minutes and I see I get 3 or 400, I'm probably going to pull it, because even though I got two sessions, 1874.11 and 1030, that's not really my goal. It's just because I went to sleep. For all I know, I could have woken up and everything is down to zero. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so far that hasn't happened. I've heard of people blowing up their accounts. It happens, I'm sure, but so far we're good, because I've taken out profits when I said 15 minutes, 300. Pfft, I'm going to bed. Good. I'll take the 300. So that's all I'm saying. So far, so good. Other people might look at it differently, but I used to play poker, so I do money management a whole different way. I don't do it how most people would do with stocks or crypto or anything like that. I do it a different way. All right. I trade crypto. Yeah, that's possible. They have the BTC USD on it as well. Um, yeah, that's great, man, because I know you're doing good, because it went down to 107, then went up to, well, not now, but before, went up to all-time highs. Now it's dropped to 107. So there's all kind of, I'm assuming, great trades that you can make going up and going down. So that's great to hear. Bitmonger Asia, that's great. All right. Well, I'm about to close this out, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, you guys know where to find me. Support at stopstrugglingnow.com. Also, I'll be here on Monday, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with more results of what happened on, no, not Sunday night. You know what's interesting? You know what? I don't know if, I don't know if it's recommended to invest on a holiday in America, but we're using the London Stock Exchange. And you're also using the US Stock Exchange if you want to roll through the day. But exchange open, what is that? September 1st? Is that what it is? September, when is? Let me see the calendar. Yeah, September 1st. Is it open September 1st? It might be, but the volume might be lower, because Americans also trade on the, just like what I'm doing. And lower volume is not good under any circumstance, I wouldn't think. Um, London's stock I just said, is the London Stock Exchange open? What's happening here? Google doesn't even tell me if it's open on Monday. Stock market holiday. Here we go. Trading hours 2025 to 2027. That's cute. But anyhow, I might as well check it out, because they do that. But it does the American Stock Exchange too. It morphs into it while the American market opens. Um, let's see. August 30th closed. Where are we at? Okay, hold on a second. Let's see. Yeah, September 1st, they're open. But again, it morphs into the United States as well earlier in the morning, where more people will be trading, Americans more than likely. So they're saying maybe not trade on Sunday. I would venture to agree. We have less volume for sure, I would imagine. But you never know. It's FOREX. It's open. It's open. So uh, it's up to you. I don't know. You tell me. Bitcoin, I think you can do all the time. Thanks, boss. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Thank you, Seamless Genius Businessa. Hopefully everything's going well for you and the fam. Very, very happy to see you once again. Be safe this weekend and enjoy your 3-day weekend. Everybody out here, if you have a 3-day weekend and it's not normal for you just to have a free weekend all the time, enjoy your 3-day weekend. All right. The idea of passive income is to try to make sure you have a any whatever you want to do weekend all the time. All right. So that's the goal here. Make passive income, reinvest it, get some more assets, keep it going. That's what we're trying to do out here. All right. Forex is 24/7. As far as I know, they don't close. It isn't like the USA stock market that only opens 5 days a week minus holidays. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I figured it's open. I was just thinking volume wise, if the Americans aren't in, which is the biggest stock market of all, um, I figured, I don't really know. I've never studied, but it just seems I go by supply and demand all the time. The more demand you have, the better, I believe, for investors. If you have less demand, then that means the price should go down, right? I would think. I don't know though. I have to study. This is what I'm saying. This is like a science experiment. We got to study. But you're right. As far as I know, it should be, but I think there's going to be lower volume. Is that good or bad? I don't know. Does it matter to a bot? I don't know. Um, that may be worthy of one of those days or evenings that I stay up and for an hour or something running and see what happens. Or I'll put it this way: what Bitmonger was asking Asia about, yeah, my risk reward on that day is going to be low. If it dropped to 100 or 200, I want to be like, hit the exit button. I don't need to sit here for this. I don't like supply and demand problems. Low volume, I don't like. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, thank you so much, post retirement travel. Yeah, it looks like they're open, which again, that you know, maybe it's worth checking out, or it's a catch 22. Maybe it's worth checking out anyhow to see what happens, and then next time know on the holiday that the Monday is good, right? Put it in demo mode maybe and do and see what happens. If the demo mode actually, which is a good question, does the demo mode actually mirror the real day dollar amounts in trades, similar trades? That's the $1 million question, right? So we'll see. Maybe I'll do a experiment instead of, because I don't think it's a good idea on low volume. So we'll see. You're just switching and trading different currency pairs because of the worldwide time zones. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Right. Because the gold market is open in the United States in the morning too. So that has something to do with these trades as well. Um, well, not really opens. It's always open. But yeah, you're right. Yep. So I understand about that because, Japan and China, well, they're not China, but Switzerland and places like this, different stock exchanges, right? Australia have their own times, so you could be trading during that time. So yeah, you can do it all day long, every day. But I'm not that far ahead yet because I want to find out about, like you said, different time zones mean that I should be able to trade even. Well, it's too late now because all time zones are gone by. But in theory or in reality, I should be able to trade during the week 24 hours a day with these pairs. For what I'm saying is gold, if silver's on there, if crypto's on there, because every zone is going to happen and be open. I don't, nobody's talked about it within the group these guys have, but maybe that's an option. You never know. All I know is I'm not going to really mess around with what's working. If we're talking about, like I said, 2,800 bucks in 5 sessions. Granted, those 5 sessions covered 2 weeks, but again, if you start saying 5,600 or 5 grand or even 4 grand in just 2 weeks of work or Autobot, that's hard to pass up. And again, we're only in 5 sessions. You cannot make any determination over 5 sessions. Quite frankly, it has to be 150, 100 sessions. Then you start getting an idea on what your profits are really going to be by the bot. But again, I'm here for the ride. So get in if you want to. I would suggest, of course, it's all up to you. Also, on Monday over this weekend. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. But make sure, because it's hard out here, subscribe to the channel and click the all notification bell, because we're going to be talking about that 199, because there's only 3 of those at that price, $199,000 villa. That's 1,731 square feet, allegedly, with a 750 square foot terrace. 3 levels inside Vista Cana, inside Paseo del Sendero. Paseo del Sendero values have increased because they have their own parks inside. I don't even know if they have their own pools or whatever, but it seems like a place that gives value. It's like its own little community within Vista Cana, and it seems to be the upscale area, but the units are small. I mean, the first units were 1,500, 1,600, 1,350 square feet. 1731 is not even that big when you start thinking about upscale luxury. So this makes it very interesting that they're giving this at almost $1,100, $1,200 per square foot price, when we're already in the 2,000 to 2,500 square foot price for builders cost. So this makes it very interesting. That's why there's only 3 available. 15% down, 35% during construction, 50% during delivery. Not a bad deal, 3 levels. So we'll be talking about that too. All right. Yes, you can trade Australia US pair on Saturday EST, and on Sundays get back to British pound. Yeah, it's all on the Gold Rush, Auto Trader, Bot Trendy. They have all those pairs. AUD US, AUD GBP. They have it all. Euro, USD. I don't even know how many. I never really look because I don't really care. I can't get into that right now. As long as this is working, let's keep riding. I don't need to switch up pairs. But yes, you are exactly right. Thank you for letting us know the time. I didn't know Australia, you could do it on Saturday. Because at one of these days, like I said, you get enough profit, then all of a sudden you're like, why don't we go find out about these other trading pairs on this Autobot thing? That's right. I call them Autobots. Transformers. Um, so anyhow, I'm going to run, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure tonight, and thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your support, your comments, and just make sure you stay safe out here, because you never know what's going to happen. A lot of unpredictable things could rear their ugly heads. People are under stress so much, and from a lot of different angles. So just make sure you keep a level head, stay calm under any circumstance if you can. It's very hard, but just do it. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, just make sure when you're running around out here, keep your head up, keep moving,